Truth.
Okay. I got truth on my mind. Truth on my mind. I got truth on my mind. Truth on my mind. I got truth on my mind. Truth on my mind.
Hey, listen, you are now rocking with Mickey Truth. She live up to her name, not the fame. So make sure y'all subscribe to her channel and stay updated on what's real. Bye.
Good reporting ass Mickey.
We love you, Mickey.
Mickey talk.
Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to pull up on your girl, Mickey Truth. We is live with it. Good morning, Truth team. Good morning. I hope everybody had a great evening. Wonderful morning. Hope you're getting up, getting your day started. So listen, we're going to go ahead and get the disclaimers and disclosures out the way early because sometimes I'll be forgetting, okay? So with that being said, let's run that real quick. Y'all already know all information contained on this live is for entertainment, heavy on the mother effing entertainment, educational purposes only. All information used on this live is per the Fair Use Act, and any conclusion that you draw is on you and your mama, not nobody on this channel, this panel, or in this chat. And another disclaimer for those who have not read the description to my channel, I am not a lawyer. Nothing I say should be used as legal advice because it's not legal advice, okay? If you do need legal advice, however, you can go talk to an actual licensed lawyer or attorney of your choosing, all right? And like the disclaimer says in the video, that you can actually see the consequences of anything that you try to run with from the channel is definitely on you, all right? So with that being said, hey, just sit back, enjoy my opinion based off my free thoughts of what I'm listening to, and y'all let me know what y'all think in the chat. Let's get started.
You can't handle the truth.
Y'all, let's start off with this. I'm gonna tell y'all this. I always say Ashley Merchant is like one of my favorite Georgia lawyers or attorneys, right? And I would have loved to see her as a defense attorney getting on DA Love ass. Okay, because like, yeah. But I brought up Ashley Merchant because last night, y'all know, I be over there on Twitter, okay, and Ashley Merchant highlighted something. Now I'm gonna say this. Now I know, you know, the attorneys on this case is definitely able bodies and they know what they got going on. But you know what I'm saying? I'm kind of like, why didn't they think about it? But then I got to thinking about maybe Quindera Zachary attorney did think about it. That's why he wanted an official copy of it, okay? And y'all might be like, what are you talking about? Okay, so on Twitter, again, shout out to Ashley Merchant, replied to Thugger Daily, and said, this is nuts. There's literally is zero ability to get a material witness warrant for an in-state witness who has not failed to show yet. We are making up laws as we go along. Now, that's some shit, okay? Now, it also, if you go down some more, Ashley Merchant said, yes, it doesn't apply. That statute only applies to a criminal defendant, not a witness. And they're referring to what Ashley Merchant, DA Love, okay, put into her brief motion. Yeah, I'm trying to wake up myself, okay? But anyway, I thought that was interesting. Good morning, Jeff. Because like in Fulton County, I have saw multiple defendants on this case in the past with the material witness hold. I've covered it over like a year ago. A lot of them have had that hold on them. Good morning, Renata. So my thing is this. What the fuck Fulton County got going on? Y'all know I be trying to day by day to get better with cursing. It ain't work out yet, but we gonna get there. Okay, we'll try again tomorrow. I messed up today, but anyway, it leads you to think like how much shady stuff really is going on down there in Fulton County. Now, if y'all don't follow the Black Law Student, he is another vocal voice when it comes to the YSL case over there on Twitter. So He said Black law students send letters to YSL Judge Whitaker challenging the validity of the material witness warrant. All right. Now I'm going to say this. I don't know how much it's going to hit with, with this, but I know a lot of attorneys that are in some shape, form, or fashion on this case does be on Twitter. So maybe it can give them some idea of what to do. But it says, Dear Judge Whitaker, I hope this message finds you well. I have been following the case of Quindarius Zachary with great interest. After reviewing the order for material witness warrant issued under OCGA 17-7-90, I feel compelled to express my concern regarding its legal validity. Am I saying that right? Validity, or however you pronounce it, and implications. Upon careful examination, it appears that the warrant may have been signed inartfully. OCGA 17-7-90 provides for material witness warrants to context of out-of-state witnesses, which is a critical distinction that shapes the application of this statute. Georgia courts have consistently emphasized that the intent of this provision is to facilitate the appearance of witnesses whose absences could impede justice, particularly those who do not reside within the state. That's a big difference because, to my understanding, Zachary is right there in Georgia, let alone right there in Fulton County. Then it gets on case laws. And if you go down, it says, given this body of case law, it is my assertion that the application for the warrant in Mr. Zachary's case is void on its face. The incorrect extension of OCGA 17-7-90 not only established legal precedent, but also poses significant risk to the rights of individuals within the state. The invocation of such warrant, if left unchallenged, could lead to unwarranted detention and potential violations of due process. Good morning, Daniel. So I say this, that's he normally, I believe it's a he, normally have great letters. So that was well written. Can't he just plead the fifth? This shit is beyond just pleading the fifth. This is the thing. Like, yes, at this point, until they try to force immunity on him, and you know it's coming, he can't plead the fifth. But the situation is this. Hold on. What happened? Why is that far right? But the situation is this. I don't know how many people really know what sickle cell is, like on some real stuff. I was definitely I was pissed off yesterday when I saw the clip. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I was pissed off yesterday when I saw the clip. When I saw the clip of lying ass love get her happy-go-lucky ass up there and said, what did she say? Let me find the clip. She said a piece of pneumonia or some dumbass shit like that. Like, hold on, let me find the clip real quick. Let me see if I can find it without taking too long. Shit. I'm gonna find the clip. But it was like a piece of pneumonia or whatever. Like, but first and foremost, having pneumonia, period, whether you got sickle cell or not, is a lot for your body to go through. Good morning, Emerald. Good morning, CJ. But when you have a illness that already has your immune system down low, or bad, or weakened, whatever word you want to use, pneumonia is very serious. That's why, a lot of people that has, that package, they get pneumonia. Normally that they on their way out. Okay. But Judge Whitaker, being a white woman, and I'm going to just call it what it is, or what appears to be a white woman, of course she doesn't have any freaking idea or whatever of sickle cell. She, she is another, is it like a cold? You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. she wouldn't have the knowledge really or the experience with people with sickle cell. And how they downplayed it, because Love basically was like Quindarius Zachary was faking his pain level because he don't want to testify. First and foremost, whether he is or whether he ain't, sickle cell is something you was born with. I'm pretty sure he has a long history because I know people in real life that has it. And I know people in real life that goes through the ups and downs. One minute they'll be fine and normal, next minute they're in the hospital. So to say he's faking or whatever, like again, before you even wanted to do a YSL Rico, that man had sickle cell. Like the fuck do Love be on? Like on some like you want him on that stand to get these videos, and we get it. But you like it just shows how much of an evil witch she is. And I'm gonna be honest, that judge ain't too far behind because she sit there and act like she really be paying attention and really do her research. But yesterday shows she how ignorant she is. Cause instead of asking the state to get a certified letter from the physician stating what his medical recommendation is, she had one lawyer who lies all the time, which is Line Love, do a proper, then had some other lawyer from the state come up there and say something. These people ain't doctors. So it irritated me yesterday hearing that, but you know, it is what it is. Why would they even want him up there to make them look worse than what he did is beyond me. So from what I'm hearing, the reason why they want Quindarius Zachary on the stand so bad is because his phone pinged at the shooting of Donovan Thomas, or in the area of the shooting. So they either want him to get up there and admit to that, plead the fifth to that, something. They just want to, I guess, bring that into evidence. And that's heavy on my opinion, based on what I'm hearing. But that's the reason why he is supposed to be like this full-blown important witness. I will say this, I'm gonna be honest. If I was Quindarius Zachary, my ass will fall the fuck out on the fucking stand. I ain't gonna lie. I will get up there. I would barely be able to talk. I would make sure I still have my hospital gown on. Okay. I mean, I will get up there and show how I'm feeling in the inside. I will show it on that goddamn stand if it was me. I'm gonna be honest. I will sit up there shivering and shaking on that stand. Because again, basically what Love said yesterday is, let's get him in here as soon as he leaves the hospital before something else happens. Meaning, if he died, as long as I get my testimony, I don't care. Now, that's my interpretation of what he said. That's not what she actually said. But shit, it's close enough. Close enough. Let's keep it a band. They don't fumble that case. They fumbled the case by creating the case. Nothing is going their way at all. Well, something is going their way because the case is still going. I mean, again, they live to fight another day. So as long as this case is still going, they can, again, bounce back. And again, we don't know what the jury is thinking. I feel like this case, this trial has to go, okay, have to be done before it hits the jury. It's too much of a up in the air what the jury thoughts would be with this case. We see everything unfold for the most part. The jury doesn't. They're only supposed to look at the evidence. Hell, the state just had a witness on the stand testifying to some shit that wasn't even part of the damn indictment. The judge had to tell the jury to disregard it. I won't go on that. Say consequences is whatever. Well, but when you're sick, you know what I'm saying? You ain't trying to be up sitting in jail. So I mean, I'm gonna be honest. And the best option for him is just to go ahead and get it over. But if I wouldn't have thought, listen, if he ain't taking nothing else from Lil Woody, he better take putting on a motherfucking show on that on that stand. And y'all, and this is just my thought process of y'all want me up here this bad, knowing I'm sick, knowing I'm in pain. All right, bet. I'll be up there showing my fucking ass, and I'm not talking about like just showing out. I'm talking about falling out. Hell, I might have a freaking seizure on the damn stand. Because again, anything that happened in the trial, in the courtroom, can be used for a mistrial. And I would wait. I would get up, they fall out. And if I was one of them, the defense attorney, I'll ask for a mistrial because that prosecutor put that man on that stand knowing he was sick, knowing he wasn't right. Then for them to say, then for Love Dixie ass to sit there and say, oh, it's not going to do nothing with his judgment. That man is on painkillers. Painkillers. What you mean? Man, has anybody ever, and I'm not talking about no Tylenol, I'm talking about hospital grain, like Oxycontin or whatever. I'm not really sure what he's on, so don't quote me on that. But he's on some real pain meds. I would be knocked the fuck out. Okay, I take pain meds, I'm asleep. So how the hell you gonna say it's not gonna mess with his mind? Like, that lady is retarded, respectfully, if you can be respectfully. And I hadn't said the word before I even thought I was on YouTube. But anyway, let me know. No, let me take that back. Let me walk that back. No, she's not. No, she's not. Okay, she's not that artwork. Okay, she is. She be acting a little touched sometimes. I think that's a better word. I think that's the safe word. She be acting a little touched. I don't know how the world she got to this point in her career. Maybe one day, once upon a time, she was a seasoned attorney, but at some point it dropped the ball. They really haven't proven anything that can place Thug a leader of the game like the Blood or something. It looks like a talk show. People getting rich on YouTube from it. I don't know who getting rich from it. Like, I haven't seen nobody hitting no type of views like that to say they getting rich off YouTube. But I mean, I get the concept of what you're saying. I mean, that's what any case, hell, not just Woody. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I ain't gonna say Woody is getting rich off of this trial. It gave him fame for sure. It gave him notoriety. What he did with it, because he been 20v1 in it a lot. That has nothing to do with the YSL case. So, like I said, I get what you're saying, but I ain't gonna say because of this trial, like, he's not up here talking about the trial every day. You know what I'm saying? He's doing 20v1. He lit. He was nobody till then. I mean, it depends who you ask. Like I said, I talked about Woody over a year ago. Like, people in Atlanta and stuff knew who he was. I mean, did everybody across the world not know? But I ain't gonna call him a nobody. You know, I mean, to be honest, hell, did we know any of these people? Did we know DA Love? Did y'all care who Fonnie Willis was? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, did he have a what? I don't know what you talking about, CJ. You got to write it again because it came up chopped up. I don't even know what that means. But I will say that shit, Woody definitely got to his money. For sure. He definitely got to the money, as he should, though. Did he have a $50,000 watch? I mean, I don't know what the hell he had. Hell, he was passing out money beforehand. Shit, I don't know. Like, I don't count. And that's what's wrong with a lot of y'all. Y'all be trying to count people's money. I don't know what money he had before or not. All I know, he's getting to the money now, and as he should. Y'all pipe him up, you know what I'm saying? To be a celebrity, he should be cashing out. And that I'm not going to knock him for that. And I say shout out to him for doing something other than fucking interviews about YSL every day, like some of the Chicago witnesses and snitches did. And they fizzled out. Like, at least he started doing something different. But yeah, he definitely came up on a bag off of it for sure. I mean, I ain't mad at him, but other shit do it. hell, a lot of people come up on them, off the bag on it. But when y'all say it's, I guess when I hear somebody be like, oh, the trial is getting him paid, I wouldn't put it like that. I would put he definitely got the notoriety from being a witness on this case. But what he did with it from there got him the bag. Because just being a witness ain't going to get you paid. I'm going to be honest. Just being named on the case or something ain't going to get you paid. Hell, our time in the Chicago sector, we saw that. A lot of them still broke. So, I mean, you just got to utilize it. I mean, I don't not know about it. At this point, everybody that came up on the bag in some way with this internet shit that came from something that they hadn't got known for, and it just happened. But just because you get known for something, off of something, doesn't mean it bring you money. Trust me. Okay? Hell, it's many times I was on blogs and stuff, I ain't getting no money, just notoriety. I had to figure out a way to cash out on my own with the notoriety. And it worked out. Some people, if you don't know how to do that, you just gonna be a known broke person, like for real. So, like, I mean, and not just Wood, I'm talking about anybody. Hell, if freaking Moon found a way to utilize being known for being a witness, shit, he better cash it out. But yeah, but I don't count people's pockets, I don't know for real what Woody had going on financially. I just can assume he's in a better financial spot than he was before. But again, I say this with the Quindarius Zachary thing. At this point, he still is technically under arrest. So he has no choice but to appear in court. And I just feel like they want him in there. Put on your best fucking show when you get in there. Now, possibly he might appear today or tomorrow. Like today was supposed to be the latest that the hospital was going to keep him. But yeah, I would definitely give Love a run for her freaking money once I get on that stand. I'm talking about every time she asks a question, I'll say, oh, I feel faint. I will give her, I'm talking about, I will frustrate her ass to the best of me. Okay, Sheena, what's up? Yeah, I'm feeling good today. Just waiting on this trial to start. They late this morning. They told the jury not to come in until 9:30, but the lawyers were supposed to be there at 8:45. But yeah, y'all, so I would just say that's just how I feel about it. I will put on a freaking show on their ass. Okay. I'm talking about I will give them a show they'll never forget. I'm talking about I'll go crazy on that stand. I'll be on every blog, everything like that. And I will say this, one thing we saw with Woody, people, the internet is full of emotional people. Whether it's anger, whether it's fear, whether it's sadness. He is in a situation, okay, where he could definitely come up off of it. And when it's all said and done, he need to sue not only Fulton County, he need to sue Love directly. He need to sue Judge Whitaker. He need to do all that and get the fuck from Fulton County. But he need to sue all them. Good morning, Tabitha. Especially if this material witness warrant is invalid, like Ashley Merchant is applying. Hey, come up all I will come up off their ass, sue their ass real quick. I want to watch Ashley Merchant go against Fannie Willis this morning. Let me see, is anybody ain't on yet? But yeah, Fannie, whatever her name is, goes up against Ashley Merchant today. I'm definitely gonna watch that. Hey Shan, good morning, y'all. So I'm here. I'm ready for this show to get on the road. I'm trying to see what they like I said yesterday, I was definitely peed off with how they were discussing the sickle cell situation. Cause like, how you gonna tell somebody that the man's sick? They like, man, you know how many people for real deal with sickle cell for real, and how they really be sick, like they be in pain, like on some real stuff. I've seen it. I remember the first time I ever came across it was somebody I went to school with, and to this day she be in and out the hospital. So it's just crazy. Um, and then the crazy thing, like the judge ain't even take the time to like, you can just look it up and see what it's about. Okay, just see what it's about. It says episodes of pain, severe pain crisis requires a hospital stay, like swelling of hands and feet, frequent infections, delayed growth of puberty, vision problems, like all types of stuff could be going on. It says this this is some of the symptoms, like they have symptoms of stroke sometimes, like that's it. All right, they on y'all. See what bullshit they on this morning. Now who the hell is that? That's not the same lady. My son has sickle cell. Okay. I never heard of a cure for it. How can you cure
Do we know who our
situation?
witnesses this morning are going to be?
I have to look that up.
Should be crime scene tech Turner, Ms. Latner's Officer McGovern, crime scene tech L. Jenkins. Court's indulgence for one moment. Miss A.S., who we've spoken about previously, Miss Smith.
All right, so we still need to resolve the issue of whether that person is going to be shown on film,
Okay, yes,
right?
yes, Your Honor. And depending on the one witness we've been discussing all week, Your Honor, who has the condition. Yes, and lastly would be depending on the status of the
Understood.
witness.
We discussed yesterday the possibility that Mr. Zachary may or may not testify, depending upon when and if he is released from the hospital. All right, so with regard to AS.
Your Honor, the state's position,
You need to talk into the mic.
yes, I'm talking into,
It is working. She's just not close enough to it and it's attached. So you're gonna have to just pick one up and use that one. Or go to the podium. Either one.
regarding Ms. A. Smith, again, Your Honor, state is asking for her not to be shown on television. I believe she still lives in the community in which this incident occurred back in 2020, Your Honor. I believe she has voiced some concern. Ms. Love is the prosecutor who has been in the most communication with Ms. Smith, but my understanding is she has voiced some concern. I can't go into specifics regarding her safety in this case, Your Honor, given that she still lives there. I believe at one point she did communicate with one of our victim advocates that members of one of the defendant's family had approached her. And this was probably about a year ago. And so she was supposed to provide us more information about that particular individual. And so those are some of the things that I am aware of that she has discussed with us and with the state. And so given some of those factors, we would ask for her not to be shown on camera, Your Honor.
All right. And is there any objection to just having her audio but not her face shown?
Yeah, Your Honor, I object to that. I don't believe that what you've heard from the state today rises to the level that was set by the previous court on the standard by which a witness would not be videoed while testifying. Of course, this is the first I've heard that maybe possibly she may have talked to a victim advocate. I know that when this came up in court the other day, that was not mentioned, but absent that, which it sounds a little bit loose at this point, I just don't believe it rises to the standard. And if this is what's established, then any witness could potentially just raise their hand and say, I don't want to be videoed.
Okay, well, obviously, this trial's been going on for a really long time and not that many people have done that. So that doesn't appear to be an actual legitimate concern.
Well, Your Honor, I would say that since these requests have started coming in, that approximately, I don't know, I'm making a guess, so don't hold me to it, but roughly 20% of the witnesses that have appeared on the list that we get at the end of the day on Friday for the next week, I would probably about 20% are highlighted as not to be shown. So it's not a one or two off thing in the history of this case.
Okay, so since I've been presiding over this case, which has been since what, mid-July or so, this is the second witness that has had anything raised. So that doesn't seem to be the percentage right now, but that's not the determining factor anyway. It's whether there is a legitimate security concern that can be substantiated by either the witness or the state. I mean, Ms. Hilton, are you representing that she has had threats made to her that she's brought to the state's attention?
She's communicated, I know for one specific incident that a family member of one of the defendants had approached her.
Okay,
But
yeah,
not
what?
Approached her asking her not to testify in the trial. She did not say that that individual threatened to harm
All right,
her.
so maybe we find out a little bit more from her when she gets here. Is she here now?
I don't believe she's.
Okay, well, we'll maybe revisit that issue. And if the victim advocate has further information or you develop further information before then, let me know. Okay.
And Your Honor, just to be clear, if she can show that there's been a threat made against her, or you believe there's a threat made against her, then I will not object to her not being shown on video.
All right, threat or intimidation?
Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Turning the page from the video, on video, off video, with Ms. Smith, the information just recited by Ms. Hilton is the first I've heard of this. I don't know what this interaction is, but the state, am I correct that the state, regardless of whether she's shown on video or not, is not going to seek to admit any testimony about whatever this interaction was as part of her testimony, is it? Okay, all right, cool.
All right, thank you. Okay, is there anything else the state intends to present with regard to that particular 911 call with Ms. Latner's? Mr. Adkins had sort of left the door a little bit open to bring something else up.
Your Honor, we're going to hold on that
Okay.
Call for right now, and so
All
we
right.
would just ask. to
Sounds
hold for
good.
that. In addition, Your Honor, the pictures that we intend to introduce today through some of our witnesses are on its way down, so we can distribute to defense counsel so that they
Okay.
can have them. In
Go ahead and do
advance.
that.
They be in the damn building and be late. How y'all in the same building with the on court and be late? Y'all hit the
All right,
light.
and then I wanted also to go over the couple of motions in limine that were filed last night or yesterday afternoon that I referenced, but that we didn't review. 56 is sort of just a general, the defense position is that they don't think testimonial statements or hearsay should come in inappropriately. It's just kind of a general, here's the law. And so I agree. But we're gonna obviously have to see how that plays out.
Can I mention something?
Yeah.
And good morning, Your Honor. Good morning to everyone. Your Honor, the import of that obvious, I guess, motion is what happened. I tried to articulate yesterday with the blue flame. So it is gone on before you or the court that a quote gang expert would say, and I'm paraphrasing, I'm not going to tell you who I spoke with. You don't have any of my notes. I did not do a report, although ordered by Judge Glanville to do a report. And I spoke with an unknown person, but we verified them and we find them to be credible. And they told me that, you know, Jeffrey Williams' stepfather's home had bullets driven into the home. And I always want to go back and interview everybody. So that is was my objection yesterday with the blue flame. I know you excluded it, and thank you, but it was argued by Prosecutor Love that people told us, the gang, whomever, that this was a retaliatory shooting done by YSL. And it's the same thing over and over. And that's really what I'm trying to get at. In this case, Miss Battle called me, the same witness, proposed witness who wrote to the Ensemble Court. And she was very upset. It's the same thing, nothing new. And I told her the same. I said, you know, courts are where we resolve issues, and she's been properly subpoenaed, and, you know, she knows that. She's testified 50 times. She's a chemist.
Yeah.
But she said that the authorities were not doing anything wrong. There's nothing wrong, but we're trying to see whether she knew over and over again who lived next door and the name of the person. And she kept saying, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. My point is, I just want to keep all that out. And I don't want somebody to lay some foundation that, hey, on this form, which came in yesterday, of tenants, this person rented the apartment, and then have a gang expert come in and say, well, we interview people and her boyfriend is this known gang member with IF. And that is really what this motion's about. It just shouldn't be circular and hidden. We should have the authority to go out and interview the people and have the same information the police are relying on to make those representations. And if they don't give it to us, then clearly to me, it's hearsay and confrontation clause. That's my issue.
Aaron, I think with many of our experts, they can rely on
Pick up the mic and use it.
Sorry. With our experts, they can rely on reports or certain information to gather their conclusions. And what I believe happened during the course of this period in 2015, from January to ultimately October, is all these shootings occurred. They received these reports, they gathered information, they interviewed witnesses, and they were able to get information to form opinions about what was happening during the course of.
Yes, experts can rely on hearsay in forming their conclusions, but there's a difference between the expert coming in and saying, based on our whatever they do, our conclusion was this is a retaliatory shooting, which would be permitted under the rules of evidence. And we concluded that so-and-so's boyfriend was a rival gang member whose name was whatever, or even without whose name was whatever. That is clearly hearsay and so obviously hearsay that the regular rules of evidence have to still apply to that.
Right, and so hence why we're here, bringing in officers who are responding to these scenes, gathering information, because now this information is before the court. This is what they've learned, and so that's why we're going through introducing all of the various retaliatory shootings now with officers and the information gathered, because when experts come, this is the information that they relied on to form their ultimate opinions about.
Okay, do you understand? I mean, we
understand.
can't exactly, figure out all of the contours of what might come in beforehand, but an expert conclusion that this was a retaliatory shooting, even if based upon hearsay, would be admissible under the rules of evidence. Expert testimony that is just basically hearsay, that this is the person that lived in this apartment, or this is the person's boyfriend, it would still be excluded as hearsay, even if it was being offered through an expert.
We understand.
Clear? Okay. All right. That takes care of that one. The number 57 is essentially some further argument as to the contents of the text messages authentication issue. And I've looked at the case law and looked at the statute again. And the issue was that one column that had text message contents, but essentially on authentication, it's a prima facie case that it is what it purports to be. And that was shown that it is the Verizon record of that phone number. It has been established that maybe everything about the contents is not 100% accurate, and it'll be for the jury ultimately to determine whether they want to believe that anything in that column is accurate. But the prima facie case has been made, and so it's not excludable on that basis. Yes, sir.
And can we just have a continuing objection to that issue?
Yes.
Because I'm not going to belabor it. And can I just cite what I sent this honorable court into the record?
Sure.
Johnson, JOHN, SON versus State. And it is cited at 348 Georgia Appeal 667. Your Honor, that's in 1B as in Barry, 824 Southeast 2D 561 2019 case. And it's our position, which you've articulated and respectfully rejected, that it has to be reliable. And I believe that the witness was clear that the records itself, she said she would not verify, but I've argued it and it's preserved, and thank you.
All right. Motion limiting number 58 covers a couple of different things. One, that on the two charts by agents Cunningham and Officer Kilgore, that one particular gun, the seizure of which has been determined to have been illegal, those charts need to be redacted so as not to include that. I think y'all said, the state yesterday, yes, we'll make sure. I think there was only a mention maybe of one chart at the time, so just make sure that it's gone from both of those charts. Then there is a request that Mr. Zachary's recorded statement from March of 2017, where Detective Dennis asked Mr. Zachary how the assault rifle was located by police in Mr. Williams' home, be excluded because the search itself was illegal. Now, I don't know exactly what got said then, so do I need to listen to it or see a transcript of what was said?
We have a transcript where you
Okay.
can listen to it. I don't know if the state's position, they may agree. It's a 2017 statement, Your Honor, March
Mhm.
3rd, if it comes in. I'm just
Right.
preempting it. And the search that's been deemed illegal of Mr. Williams' home is July 15, 2015. And it's simply the detective asking Mr. Zachary about this weapon that they would not have known about, and the derivative evidence has been
Oh, I
also
understand
suppressed.
what you are saying now. Okay. What's the state's position on that?
Your Honor, the state that does not intend to introduce anything regarding the July 2015 search or the item seized from the search.
Okay, and so the reference to the assault rifle, which the state only knew about because of the search, I understand now what the argument is. Y'all won't have any reference to that. Okay, and then the third thing is that in that same transcript, Detective Dennis at one point states, or is her, what this says is heard stating that Mr. Williams is the owner of the studio that was the subject of that search, and you want the statement that he was the owner of that studio to be excluded?
Yeah, I think we had an order previously, and please correct me, from the predecessor judge that on the same morning as July 15, 2015, law enforcement went to Mr. Williams' home. That's been deemed illegal as search, as well as to a recording studio. At their recording studio, they found, I believe, marijuana, $40,000, US currency. I'm going to say firearms with an S. It has been previously said that search of that studio is not related to Mr. Williams or anyone on trial directly. It was another person named Rico, and his last name is evading me. I can't remember, but it's a Rico Ritchie, R-I-C-H-I-E. And that would be excluded, and I just want to make sure that that doesn't get mentioned either. And the way it was said in the transcript is that that's Mr. Williams' studio, which is just not right. But Mr. Williams did have a connection to the studio because he would perform at many studios throughout.
So it's not true that he's the owner of the studio. Is that what you're saying?
He's not the owner of the studio.
Okay. Any issue with that piece of that interview being excluded?
We believe that is in the order, and we will follow the court's order.
Okay, I don't understand what you're saying there. Are you conceding? Okay. All right, so that takes care of that.
Can I add one more thing to that, Your Honor, this motion?
Sure.
I think the court ordered it yesterday, but the blue flame shell casings are on that same chart that is referenced by Agent Cunningham, according to the state, as an exhibit of hers, as well as Officer Kilgore. So I asked that blue flame mentioned on that chart be please removed. And that's the search by the firearms police database.
It will be removed.
All right, thank you. All right, and then the last one was a supplement to the big motion to exclude various pieces of evidence that we'll need to go through whenever we have our next non-jury day. So we won't deal with that one right now.
Your Honor,
Yes.
may I just add one thing? Again, I'm like Mr. Steele said, not conceding the admissibility of any prior statements of Mr. Zachary, but I just wanted to remind the court that there were some matters that we took a wait and see approach. Your Honor, took a wait and see approach to see if a foundation could be laid by Mr. Zachary regarding one. I was reviewing in preparation of court today. One specifically was whether something counted as a tacit admission. And we just needed to hear from Mr. Zachary to lay a foundation on some of those matters. I just wanted to remind the court that we do have that issue out there, those issues out there. There's a few of them.
All right, so does the state recall what it is that Mr. Sharp's referencing?
I don't. I unfortunately do not, because I don't think I was here when the Quindarius Zachary statements were reviewed. Mr. Atkins and Ms. Love were here, and give me a moment, I can reach out to them to see.
All
if
right,
they can
well,
recall.
I guess until he shows up here, it won't become an issue anyway, but maybe circle back on that when we've got a different prosecutor in the courtroom, when and if we get Mr. Zachary. All right, thank you. Okay, do we have the jury? Not everybody, okay.
Your Honor.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Before that's done,
we'll wait.
can I ask a quick question?
Okay,
Apologize, Mr. Weinstein. Your Honor, the state was kind enough to point me in the right direction for the witness list. And they said, I think the Honorable Court is on that email. So they said that Miss Bailey, Bailey, Miss Galloway, Galloway, and Miss Chavo, Chavo, or E rather, ES, changed, CHAVES. We're not on any witness list. If we could get contact information and if the state could make them available for us to interview, that would be helpful. I'm not moving to exclude, the witness for not being on a witness list unless the court wants to do that. But I would like to speak with the witnesses.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, how soon can y'all do that? All right, it looks like these are all like APD employees.
Let me just reach out to my investigative team. We should be, hopefully if they still work with the department, we should be able to get that pretty quickly.
All right, anything else? All right. Will you? Or want to use the restroom real fast. Hopefully we'll have all of the jurors in the next 5 minutes or so.
Well. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to pull up on your girl, Mickey Truth. We is live with it. All right. They're waiting on the rest of the jury to come in. Hell, at this point, they're waiting on the other prosecutors to get there. They're waiting to get the day going. Nikki, what it do? Good morning. So far, they just went over some motions and limine put on record by Jeffrey Williams, aka Young Thug's team. And yeah, we starting off a little dry this morning. At this point, they do not know if Quindara Zachary will get on a stand today. So that's one of the things that's still up in the air. I think they're gonna start off with like some crime takes or whatever. So it's gonna be another draining first half possibly. But we're gonna ride it out till lunch, see where it goes at lunchtime before I determine if we just gonna end it for the day or not. Trying to see what I missed because we was talking about Quindara Zachary earlier. See if there was anything else going on. I done ate breakfast and now I'm ready to take me a damn nap. Let's see. Yeah, homework to do. I forgot about that. Yeah, make sure y'all hit the like button. We just really chilling right now. Waiting. Oh, she on the stand? Is she on the stand now? Damn, they ain't started yet. I told you I wanted to see Bonnie Willis and Ashley Merchant go head to head. So they got that going on. I might have to start another live for that one because I don't think everybody's gonna be into wanting to watch that. Mickey, you make a video on this Diddy. I made a couple videos. Y'all ain't watch them, so I took them down. I'm not gonna cover Diddy. Good morning, Lamar. That chat is gonna be streaming. It hasn't started yet. I'm actually about to. Damn. I might have 2 streams going on because I want to watch that one. I think that's gonna be more interesting than YSL today. But yeah, y'all, I'm not covering Diddy. Y'all don't watch none of my Diddy videos. I'm talking about at all. And that's come from somebody who ain't been big on the number part, because I have like an average amount of views I normally get on videos, but every Diddy video for the past year don't even get to like 50. And all that paperwork and stuff to read, yeah, I ain't about to do it. So yeah, won't be covering that. Yeah, that Ashley Merchant going on. Every day, I tell you, every day they go come in and they asking that, but nah. I guess it's not. I guess look, I don't know. I really don't know, because like everybody is talking about Diddy for sure, but I guess look, the mass don't want me to talk about him. Me and Music was having that conversation, like, because he said Diddy don't do well for him either. So I don't know what it is. Like, Lord, let's get you up out of here. Jeez. Diddy a freaky dude, but I think it's a money grab. I ain't gonna say all that. I ain't gonna say all that. I think some shit that went on. Like again, like I told y'all, I feel like at some point, and I said the same thing with the Bill Cosby thing. At some point, things was done or indirectly let happen because that was the culture, the environment, and it comes a point to where the culture, the environment changes, and boom, you know. Your ass in federal jail. I mean, at this point, it's beyond money because he got criminal charges. This shit ain't got like I can see, I can see the civil cases being a money grab, but shit, he got criminal charges. Mickey, he won't force nobody to hunt. Hell, Lamar, you willing to put your freedom on the line and say that shit? I don't know that dude to say what he was doing and not doing. I mean, I believe he did. I ain't gonna say he was just downright taking it, but I definitely believe he enforced some power on the situation to get what he wants. A lot of guys in high power positions don't like to be told no, and that's a fact. They don't like to be told no. I said the same thing with Trey Songz. Like, so I ain't putting nothing past them. Like I said, I ain't gonna just because I don't know what the hell was going on. But I will say men in power don't like to be turned down, told no, or defied. So I definitely believe in some smoke to that fire. And I'm leave that at that. That's just how I feel about it. Okay. So even if somebody was willing when it started, if they say stop and no after, and you had to drug them, that's a crime, Lamar. Like, that's a crime. You may not have started the force at the beginning, but you ended it by force. So I will say that I don't know what Diddy have going on, but I definitely think Diddy was definitely not taking no for an answer, for sure, in my opinion, of course. Hey, Lamar, it's the same. Like, see, y'all men be kind of like y'all don't like to stand on business evenly. So if you said that Trey Songz was taking it based off of the allegations on him, how can you say Diddy wasn't taking it though? See, y'all don't stand on business. See, I stand on business across the board. Allegations was made against Trey Songz and Diddy, and I'm taking the same stance. And according to the U.S. Attorney, they got some videos of some of them freak offs. And I'm gonna be honest, they ain't about to just lock you up for being freaky. The feds ain't about to lock you up for being freaky. The feds ain't about to lock you up just for having a big old orgy. That is not about to get you no criminal indictment. So obviously, it's something more to it. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, and this just based off of the same information y'all got. Okay, unless y'all know this man personally or done been to one of these alleged freak offs, you ain't getting locked up just for being freaky. You ain't getting locked up just to have no fetish. Okay, they said they got video of some of these situations and something ain't right, obviously. Like I said, I ain't gonna put that he was taking it, but I do feel like hell at some point you ain't about to tell him no. He don't even give me no vibes just from watching him online. You ain't, again, men in power don't like to be told no. And I ain't talking about just sexual, I'm talking about period. Like, think about if you ever worked for a corporation and the CEO call you in the office, even if you don't know how to do it, they always say, I'm on it. I'll get right to it. Cause they like if I don't know, I can't really explain it. When you be in rooms with powerful and women probably the same way, but for the most part, like men, when you be in a room or have a conversation with a man in power, it's a different type of like they expect or demand. That's why they demand XYZ.
Okay.
All right, okay. Good morning, Blue.
Earlier, when we were talking about A. Smith, and I talked about the an individual, a defendant's family member reached out to her. That was not that witness, and I'm sorry, it was a different witness who relayed that to me. It was not Miss Smith. It was another witness who relayed
All right.
that. So I just wanted to clarify that.
Okay, so is there anything the state wants to present with regard to the request that AS not be shown on video?
Yes, Judge, and I believe she's on her way, but what she has relayed to the state is that since the time that this has been going on, her family has found out things that she had not alerted them to, that it is causing her, she says, distress. She does not say that she has been threatened. She said that it is a source of great concern for her.
Man, forget that. When y'all got a man sick and y'all say y'all give a fuck, don't nobody give a fuck that your family finding out your demons. Fuck that. Put the camera on them.
And she has asked that we not. She said she doesn't want to be here, but she certainly doesn't want to have her face publicized. She said that when when her name began being mentioned, that caused problems for her, and she does not want to have to endure that. Under those circumstances, and understanding counsel's arguments regarding sort of guidelines by the court's predecessor, we're asking that the court exercise the court's own discretion and allow, based on
put her ass up there
and the concerns
what
of
we
any
love
lay
talking about.
witness to that extent. They're not asking to cover their faces in court behind a veil, but to not have their faces publicized nationally is what they're asking.
All right, so I mean, you say the court's discretion as though it is 100% up to the court. It's not up to the court. It's the case law that guides it. And in Georgia, it is very, very, very tilted towards showing everything all the time. And the court has very little discretion in stopping that from occurring, even if there are, probably none of the witnesses want to be blasted throughout the world, understandably. So that's why the guideline and the determiner was, are there legitimate security concerns? And if there are legitimate security concerns, then detail what those are.
So, Your Honor, I do understand what the court is saying. And regarding the rights or guidelines of having the faces shown on camera, prior to today, and it was prior to this particular argument, I had researched when we were looking at it previously with Judge Glanville. My understanding, and the court has a vast amount of knowledge about what the particular laws in Georgia are, because the court has dealt with those. But my understanding was that there is no, and lot, just if it were such a right that anyone had to have the faces of every witness shown, then arguably speaking, any trial that's not publicized on camera, their rights are being violated because their faces are not being shown. But to the extent that
Man, you ain't got no argument.
camera people decide where they want to put the camera, and if they're okay with not showing the faces, the only argument that I would have is that there's no defendant with any right to show the faces. And I would ask the court for
show the damn face like
before
every
we
other
bring her
witness.
in, that just the ability to, if we can find case law directly on point, to show it to the court regarding that particular issue, because
Of course you can do that. And if the media chooses not to show a witness's face because they know that that person has concerns, that's of course up to the media. I mean, frankly, this court is open. Anybody can walk in here anytime they want to and watch the proceedings. But that's just not really the way the Georgia courts overall have perceived the whole televising and videotaping of court proceedings. So sure, I'm happy to consider any kind of case law that you want to present.
thank you.
And obviously,
She ain't got
if
none,
the
Judge.
media wants to focus on somebody else during that time,
No,
that is
focus on the
wonderful.
witness.
But unless you present to me either case law that covers it or legitimate security concerns, I can't order them not to.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you.
Okay,
She
so are
definitely
we
pull
now
up.
ready for the jury?
Yeah, like fuck that shit. Y'all put the people information out there anyway. Now you want to get up there and ask for compassion. Fuck that. Y'all put her dirty laundry out there. And I'm pretty sure somebody will find out who she is regardless. Like they should know how this internet shit works.
Okay, well, she's not going to be the first witness anyway, so. All right, let's get the jury.
Then love your evil ass just sit there and say, man, if this witness dies, he gonna die after he testified. But then you want to sit up here talking about don't put somebody on the camera because it's causing the witness distress. Fuck that. Everybody distressed at this point. Come on, man. Love, sit your ass now. You gotta be evil across the board now. You gotta stand on business, love. You can't be evil to a select and then try to be sweet to the others. Put all their ass on camera. Y'all already put their damn names out there. Show everybody, the police, all that. Show all their ass to the world. Public trial. Y'all hit the like button, man. And before anybody start, I feel this way across the fucking board. If the rules of the state is everything is public, then everything public. I wouldn't give a damn if it was my daddy courtroom, bruh. If everybody is public, everybody is public. So yeah, I feel the same way if it was my own people. For those that like to play the motherfucking sympathy card, I don't have no empathy for switching up the rules for one and not the other. Keep that shit universal. And look, I don't even know what witness is supposed to be. I don't even know what the storyline is for. And I still feel the same way. Shit. Like, for talking about her family starting to learn shit. Well, you shouldn't have been hiding your truth. You should have been living in your truth, man. Fuck your family gonna do to you. You supposed to be a grown woman. This shit old. Tell them, yeah, I was outside once upon a time, not outside no more. Like some shit talking about her family learn things about it. Oh well. Oh well. Now who the fuck is that? All right, I think a police coming to the stand. Y'all hit the like button.
Thank you so much.
Your Honor, state calls crime scene tech Alfred Turner to the stand.
All right.
Raise your right hand. You swear first testimony you give the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. State and spell your first and last name for the court dial into the mic, please.
Okay, it's Alfred Turner, ALFRED TURNER.
And welcome back.
Hey,
Seems like we just saw you yesterday. So we're not gonna go over your background since you were here earlier this week. I just want to jump to back in 2015, earlier this week, you discussed responding to 1428 Adele Avenue. Is that fair?
yes,
Okay. In 2015, did you respond to other shootings, other shooting calls?
yes,
All right. I want to specifically direct your attention to January 11th, 2015. Did you have the occasion to respond to 197 Hendricks Avenue in Atlanta, Georgia?
yes, I did.
And why did you respond to that location?
We got a call that a shooting occurred.
And once you got to the location, what, if anything, were you asked to do?
We was asked to take photos and collect evidence.
And did you do that?
Yes, I did.
And have you had the opportunity to review your pictures from that particular incident in that location?
Yeah.
Okay. You have permission to approach?
You may.
I'm showing you what's been marked as 1 triple DA through 17 triple DA. And were you sent those pictures yesterday evening?
Yes.
Okay. And as you're flipping through, did those pictures fairly accurately depict the scene at 197 Hendricks from January 11, 2015?
Yes, they do.
Your Honor, this time the state would like to tender State's Exhibit 1 triple DA through 17 triple DA into evidence.
Those are admitted.
Permission to publish, Your Honor.
Okay.
Now, first starting with 1 triple DA, if you can tell the jurors, where are we looking at, or what is depicted in 1 triple DA?
It was just an overall photo of Hendricks Avenue.
Going to 2 triple DA. Looking at 2 triple DA, was this the home that was the focus of your investigation?
Yes, it was.
All right. Looking at 3 triple DA and now 4 triple DA. And 5 triple DA. What, if anything, is depicted on 5 triple DA?
That's a photo of damage to the screen of the window of that residence.
Okay. Now looking at 6 triple DA. Is that a close-up of what you just referenced?
Yes.
All right. 7 triple DA. And 8 triple DA. What's depicted in those 2 images?
Those were gunshot holes to the residence, that same residence.
All right. Now looking at, I'm going to skip to 10 triple DA. What are we looking at 10 triple DA?
Those were the 3 shell casings that were collected from the scene.
And did you take close-ups of those 3 shell casings?
Yes, I did.
And are they contained within the set of pictures that you have in front of you?
Yes.
Now looking at 13 triple DA. What is depicted in 13 triple DA?
That's a shell casing number 4 that was located near the residence.
Okay. And were you able to determine what type of shell casing that those were?
I probably have to look through my notes to see which one it was.
You're on permission to approach?
You may.
And let me ask, will looking at a copy of your crime scene tech report assist you? Could look at you. No, I have it up here.
Oh.
Permission to approach?
You may.
I'm gonna show you what's been marked as Stacy's Exhibit 18 triple DA. Is that your crime scene tech report?
Yes, it is.
And does looking at that copy help refresh your memory as to what size shell casings those were? If noted.
No, I don't have that on here.
Okay. Are you able to tell, from looking at the pictures, are you able to tell what size they are?
It,
And if not, that's okay too.
no.
Okay. Now, in that year, did you also have the occasion to respond to 198 Stanhope Drive on January 26, 2015?
Yes.
And do you recall why did you respond to that location?
We were dispatched that a shooting also occurred at that location, and it had damage to vehicles.
And when you were called out to that scene, what, if anything, did you do at that scene as well?
They also wanted me to photograph the scene and collect evidence at that scene as well.
Okay. And have you had the opportunity to review those photos as well?
Yes.
You want permission to approach again?
You may approach freely.
I'm showing you what's been marked as 1 triple D through 29, 1 triple D subsection C through 29 triple D subsection C. Are those the items that you pictures that you previously reviewed?
Yes.
Okay. And did those fairly and accurately depict the scene from 198 Stanhope on January 26, 2015?
Yes, they do.
And let me ask you, regarding that particular scene, do you know if there was a victim involved in that scene?
I'd probably have to look on my notes to see.
You're on permission to approach. Oh, no, second. Approach. I'm showing you what's been marked as Stacy Exhibit 30 triple D C. Is that a copy of your crime scene tech report?
Yes, it is.
Will that help refresh your memory?
Yes.
You can take a moment and look, and if your memory's refreshed, you can let me know.
Yes, there was a victim.
And who was that victim?
Believe it was Trevante Turner.
All right. And I believe I admitted it, but if not, Your Honor, say would like to tender Stacy's Exhibit 1 triple D C through 29 triple D C into evidence.
Okay. Do you mean, you haven't this morning, did you mean
Oh.
a different day?
No, I thought I may have said it earlier today. Okay, Your Honor, this time the state would like to admit 1 triple D C through 29 triple D C into evidence.
Okay, those are admitted.
And permission to publish.
You may.
Now, first looking at 1 triple D C, tell the jurors, what are we looking at 1 triple D C?
That was the vehicle that they were that we were dispatched to take photos of multiple gunshots.
Looking at 2 triple D C? And 3 triple D C. Are those the, what, if anything, are inside of the car vehicle?
Can you repeat that?
Are those bullet defects?
Yes, they are.
Okay. And looking at 4 triple D C? And 5 triple DC? What is depicted in 5 triple DC?
Those were the actual location where the shell casings were from that scene.
And did you take individual pictures of all of those shell casings?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and are those included in the stack of pictures that you have before you?
Yes.
All right. I want to go to State's Exhibit 21 triple DC. What is depicted in 21 triple DC?
That's a photo of a vehicle parked at the residence, and it also had multiple shell gunshot damages to it.
Looking at 23 triple DC and 24 triple DC. Is that the damage that you were referencing?
Yes.
And now looking at 25 triple DC. What are we looking at 25 triple DC?
That's a residence of 186 Stone Hope.
Okay. And did that also sustain damage?
Yes, to the window.
All right. Looking at 27 triple DC and 28 triple DC. Is that the damage to the window that you were just referencing?
Yes.
And then looking at 29 triple DC. Was that also a defect to the window?
Yes.
Right. And after taking pictures, did you collect those shell casings?
Yes, I did.
And when you collected those shell casings, what did you do with them?
They were put in our Atlanta Police evidence locker as evidence.
Okay. And I'll ask you the same question for the previous set of pictures with shell casings. Did you collect those shell casings from 197 Hendricks?
Yes.
And what, if anything, did you do with those shell casings once collected?
Those were those were turned over to Officer Williams on the scene.
Now, as a crime scene tech, do you sometimes report to the APD homicide cage to take pictures?
Yes, I do.
And when would you respond to the homicide cage in order to take pictures?
It's usually after the vehicles has been moved from the scene and actually stored in the homicide cage.
Okay. I want to direct your attention to February 20th, 2015. Did you have the occasion to take pictures at the APD homicide cage?
Yes, I did.
And have you had an opportunity to review those pictures today, or excuse me, before your testimony today?
Yes.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as Exhibit 1 triple D to 11 triple D. And do you recognize those pictures?
Yes, I do.
And how do you recognize those pictures?
These were the photos that, excuse me, that was taken at the homicide cage.
And are they a fair and accurate depiction of the picture that you took at the homicide cage on February 19, 2015?
Yes.
Your Honor, this time the state would like to tender state's exhibits 1 triple D D through 11 triple D D into evidence.
Those are admitted.
And crime scene tech Turner, did you know the location of where that car derived from?
I believe it was 140 Maury Avenue.
We're looking at a copy of your police report, crime scene tech report, help refresh your memory as to the exact address.
Yes.
I'm gonna show you what's been marked as 12 triple D for identification purposes. Is that a copy of your crime scene tech report?
Yes, it is.
And does that help refresh your memory to the address of where the car was taken from?
Yes.
And what was the address?
It was 114 Maury Avenue.
And what is the date of the incident? When did the incident occur?
That was February the 2015.
Was that the date of the incident or the date that you took pictures?
That was the date I took pictures.
What was the incident date?
I'm sorry, 2020, 2019, 2019, 2015.
No, what was the incident date? Let me ask, do you see the incident date on the third line down?
Is that the 2019? I'm sorry, 219.
And what was the year?
2015.
All right. And Your Honor, now permission to publish 1 triple D E D. Triple D D.
You may.
Okay, what are we looking at 1 triple D D?
That's just a rear photo of the vehicle.
And 2 triple D D? And now we'll look at 3 triple D D. What was being depicted with the placard for number 1 and 3 triple D D?
That was a photo of a cell phone.
Now looking at 4 triple D D. What was being depicted with placards 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 and 4 triple D D?
The first, it was the photo of the back seat inside the vehicle, and I believe there were shell casings on all of those.
Okay. And did you take individual pictures of those shell casings?
Yes.
Right. And is that reflected in 5 triple D?
Yes.
And 6 triple D D? Can I borrow your stick?
Stapler?
Stick. Pointer. Thank you. And Investigator, are you able to show the jury where, if there are any shell casings depicted in 6 triple D D?
Yes.
Okay. But if you can just take this stick and point to where those shell casings are.
One right here, and the other one is like right there.
If you go to 7 triple D, is that a close up of the 2?
Yes.
And then 8 triple D?
There's actually 3 here. 1, 2, 3.
All right. And 9 triple D? Or those shell cases depicted in 5 and 6?
Yes.
And 10 triple D? Were those shell casings depicted for placards 7 and 8?
Yes.
All right. And 11 triple D? Is there a shell casing depicted in 11 triple D?
Yes.
Okay. And where is that shell casing?
It's 2 here and here.
All right. And then lastly, and that's it. Thank you so much. Now, crime scene tech turn, are you able to tell me, and we'll start with triple DD, the incident number for triple DD, which is on number 12, I'm sorry. Looking at your crime scene tech report, are you able to tell me the incident number for 114 Maury?
You wanted the incident number?
Yes, please.
That's 150503213.
All right. And then can you give us the incident number for 198 Stanhope?
That was 150262801.
And then lastly, could you give us the incident number for 197 Hendricks?
And that's 150110392.
All right. Now, with the shell casing that you collected from the homicide case, from the car in triple DD, what did you do with those shell casings?
They was processed for fingerprints, and after that, they were sent to APD property as evidence.
Okay. And do you know if at any point those items were taken from APD property to the APD crime lab?
No, I don't.
Okay. Court's indulgence? Last question for you. So, when you package.
Use the mic if you don't mind.
When you collect crime scene, shell cases from the crime scene, how do you package your shell casings?
What we do is individually pack them, usually put them in a little envelope. We put the time we collected, the location, the case number, the address, and I have my initials on it.
And are each shell case in an individual envelope?
Yes, unless they really close to each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when you said the location, what did you mean by you put the location number on there?
Like if it's inside a vehicle, you usually put inside the vehicle in the seat or something like that.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, any defense questions for this witness?
Your Honor, on behalf of Mr. Williams, we have no questions for this gentleman.
All right. Nope. Okay. All right, thank you for your time. You're excused. Call your next witness. Mr. Matthews. Is this a lawyer with you or somebody else? Yeah. That was just Mr. Matthews is wanted in a different courtroom during our next break. That didn't have anything to do with this case.
Raise your right hand. You swear affirm testimony you're giving the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth. State spelling your first and last name for the court.
Louise Jenkins, LOUISEJENKINS. Excuse me.
Good morning, Ms. Jenkins. How are you doing?
Fine, and you?
Doing well, doing well. Are you currently employed?
No, I'm retired.
Happily?
Happily.
What was your last job?
Atlanta Police Crime Scene.
What year did you retire from APD?
2015.
What year did you start with APD?
1985.
Can you tell the jury a little bit about your experience when you started working for Atlanta Police Department?
I started at criminal records and I did dispositions, and I went to court to take dispositions, and then I did warrants. And from there, I started crime scene in 1987.
How did you end up working in crime scene?
It's all in the same department, and I started taking notes and started studying fingerprinting, and I got interested in it, and then I started in fingerprinting.
And did you ever become a crime scene technician?
Yes, I did.
Can you explain for the jury your experience as a crime scene technician?
We go to court, we had to go to take classes, and we do collect evidence, process, fingerprint, photographs, go to court, and we take our crime labs to either GBI or Atlanta Police Crime Scene.
Now, did you have any law enforcement experience in any capacity before working with Atlanta Police Department?
Not in law enforcement, but I work for state revenue department, and I also work Atlanta Braves security.
Okay. How long did you work with Atlanta Braves security?
About 10 years.
Did any of that time overlap with it when you were with the Atlanta Police Department?
Yeah, some of it did.
Now, were you a crime scene technician from 1987 until you retired?
Yes.
And I want to turn your attention, Ms. Jenkins, to April 28th, 2015.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever have the opportunity to respond to 1903 Drew Drive?
Yes, I did.
Can you tell the jury what you did in relation to that location?
It came up as a vandalism, shots fired, and I went and I took photographs of the scene on the outside and inside, and I collect evidence from the outside, and I turn it over to the officer on the outside on the scene, and I collect a projectile and 2 bullet fragments from inside, and I took it to our Atlanta crime lab and turned it into them.
Do you typically process the scene from the outside in?
Yes.
And I wanted just to show you one photograph that's already admitted to publish 62 Lima Lima.
So here.
It's going to come up here, and
Okay.
if technology works for us, machine. Do you recognize that photograph, 62 Lima Lima?
Yes.
And is that the 1903 Drew Drive we were just discussing?
Yes, it is.
And why is it, or can you explain for the jury, the responding officer collected the shell casings that were outside and you collected the ones that were inside? Is there any reason behind that?
Well, it came up as a vandalism. So usually when we have a call like that, we can also turn it, the shell casings or whatever, to the investigator on the scene. Anything mostly on the inside, we collect and we'll turn it into our crime lab or the GBI crime lab.
And what protocols did you follow when you collected the shell casings?
I photograph, numbered, and collect them in envelopes, label each one of them, and I put them in a bag at the end of collecting everything, and I turn it over to the officer on the scene.
And for the projectiles, that you collected from inside, what protocol did you follow with those?
We collect overall of the whole place first, and then we collect each items and we number them, and then I collect them and data them and send and take them up and then send them to our crime lab.
After you processed 1903 Drew Drive and collected those projectiles, did you have any other involvement with this specific crime scene?
I did not.
One brief moment, Your Honor. Ms. Jenkins, I'm just going to show you a few photographs from, I'm going to publish. Yes. Ms. Jenkins, I'm going to publish a couple crime scene photographs from inside and ask you if you recognize some of these photographs.
Okay.
And I'm publishing State's Exhibit. Yep. Previously admitted 22 Lima Lima. And Ms. Jenkins, I'm going to cycle through a couple of these photographs to specifically see if you recognize some of the projectiles that you collected from the scene.
Okay, kid, it's possible that I can look at my notes.
Yeah, it's perfectly possible. Yes, ma'am. I'm going to, or is there anything that will refresh your memory in relation to this?
The notes that I took, the pictures that I took.
And is that in your crime scene record?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'm approaching and handing the witness. And Ms. Jenkins, once you review that, if your memory's refreshed, just look up at me.
Okay.
One reason to try Zaxby's new chicken finger tacos? We'll give you two. Chipotle ranch and avocado BLT.
Coffee?
Please.
Screen, but with 22 Lima Lima, was that one of the projectiles that you collected at Drew Drive?
Yes, it is.
And Ms. Jenkins, when you collect these, can you describe, do you put them in one giant bag, individual bags? What do you do when you collect projectiles?
They're
like
collected in
this?
one individual bag and then they're put in one large bag once they're all labeled.
And when you collect them in single bags, do you have any markings on any of those bags?
You put the number of whatever you put it, the number, you have to put a number there, and then you have to label the number on the bag. And then you put the evidence in there, and you put the date, time, or whatever you put, collect the bags and put it in.
And is the number you use the same number as the Atlanta Police Department incident number?
No, it's the number that you put it in, and you put that on there also.
When you said put what on there also, you mean the numbers of?
The complaint number, you put the complaint number and you put the number of the evidence that you have, whether it's 1, 2, 3, or whatever.
And in this case, did you put the numbers on the evidence bags that you collected?
On each individual bags. And the case number is on both bags.
And what was the Atlanta Police Department case number for this case? And if you have to refresh your memory, just let me know.
The case number is 151180588.
Thank you, Ms. Jenkins.
Mhm.
One brief moment. Ms. Jenkins, I'm going to, and for the record, I'm labeling as 62 Lima Lima what the witness, Ms. Jenkins, has been using to refresh her memory. And Ms. Jenkins, can you describe what it is that you have been using to refresh your memory?
My report that I made from the call that I had.
From the
Call.
1903 Drew Drive?
Yes,
Is it a fair and accurate depiction of the crime scene report that you made in relation to this case?
yes, it is.
Your Honor, at this time, the state would tender 62 Lima Lima into evidence.
It's admitted.
Thank you, Ms. Jenkins.
You're
No
welcome.
further questions by the state, Your Honor.
Any questions for this witness by any of the defense attorneys?
Mr. Williams, no questions.
No, no. And Mr. Williams, you with us? No. Okay. All right. Thank you for your time. You may be excused. Yes. looking for any sort of answers. So the witness AS is going to come in, and I'm going to ask for now, y'all not tape her while we sort out whether y'all can tape her during her testimony. Yeah, audio is okay. Okay. The witness stand, she's not being taped right now. I'm videotaped. Come on up to the witness stand if you don't mind. Okay, go ahead and have a seat. And I understand from the state that you've got some concerns about your face being shown on the live stream. Can you tell me what those concerns are?
Just anything doing my job. I just don't want to have no parts in it. I don't want to be on camera.
Pull the mic down next to you and try to speak into the mic. So is it anything beyond just not wanting to be on camera? Do you have any concerns about your well-being or your safety?
Not really.
Okay, well then that's not going to be enough. And the law, sort of the given, unless there are particular circumstances, is that it'd be allowed to be videotaped. And I don't have a lot of discretion in that regard unless there's some reason that can be presented. So I fully understand you feeling that way, and certainly, as I noted before, the media can choose not to show her face, but I can't order them not to. Okay. All right. So do I need to hear from anybody else on anything?
One other thing that we wanted to bring to the court's attention is that previously the media did not have a problem with the specified not showing their faces.
Okay.
It was never, they had no problem ever. It was only objections from counsel or defendants.
Okay. All right. Does the media have an issue with just voluntarily not showing her face? Okay.
I'll say this, and also what the media had agreed to is that if they had an objection to not showing the faces, they were going to come on the Monday after Ms. Hilton provided them. So she provided this to them, I believe, last week.
I understand that.
And no one has voiced
Okay, let me hear from the other media representative who's taping right now. We can't really hear you. Speak up a little bit. I can't even hear what you said.
Your Honor, may I also clarify something?
Hang on just a second.
Yes.
So were you saying something about not having gotten the notice?
No, I didn't get a notice and I asked.
Love.
She wasn't here.
Okay, so who sent the email last week?
So, Your Honor, I sent the email last week, Ms. Sylvia was not on that email.
All right, we'll put her on all the future emails.
But
'cause
she
she's
did ask for it on Monday, and I forwarded to her on that Monday.
on Monday, okay.
And
Well,
she did receive.
if you'll go ahead and add her to the distribution list for all the future ones. And we will continue to follow the procedure that had been put in place previously, that the objections, if there are any, need to be made the Monday morning after the Friday emails.
Yeah, and Your Honor, I don't believe that representation made by the state is accurate, that the media are the only people that have the opportunity to object to this.
That's not what she was representing. I think what she was saying was that they had not objected before. Ms. Westmoreland, you wanted to say something?
Your Honor, I believe it's been clarified.
Okay.
Turning the page again. I just want to make sure that Ms. Smith has been instructed as a witness. My concern is that there's always rumors, and I just want to make sure that Ms. Smith knows that she's only to testify about things that she actually has personal knowledge of.
All right, Ms. Love, I think you know what Mr. Sharp's referencing. Have y'all had a discussion about? All right. Okay, so does any defendant want to, I think in the future, the test is supposed to be, you know, is it within the requirements of due process to cover or exclude? And a lot of these cases are about a defendant objecting to coverage or the media objecting to coverage. And so if the defendant or the media objects, I need to hear the basis for the objection, and then I'll make a determination based on all the different factors that are set forth in Rule 22. But anyway, I haven't really heard anything that would lead me to believe that the case law would support ordering that this witness not be videotaped. So Ms. Love, do you want to take just a few minutes to discuss with the witness what you need to? Okay.
Where should I do it? Right here?
If you want to step right outside, that's fine. Yeah.
They full of it, okay? They are full of it with this one. Show every other witness. You show everything else. You put their names out. They show the girl face. I'm talking about, I ain't hear nothing to say she's in danger. Basically what she's saying that she's embarrassed. Her family is learning stuff that they didn't know. Like, forget that. They lucky I don't work for
The witness and the jury? Okay, let's get the jury.
Chicken expert since 1990. Taco expert since now. New Zaxby's Chicken Finger Tacos.
DSG, family clothing and
She has not been sworn in, no. No. Mm-mm. Is it okay if she uses her first initial?
That's fine with me.
Yes.
Right.
All right, I had to cut my other stream off. I couldn't keep up. I was hearing too many voices.
Thank you.
Shit.
Okay, Miss Love.
All right,
go
we
ahead.
back. My bad, y'all. They did the right thing. Fuck that shit. Ain't no special treatment. Y'all hit the like button.
Can you stand up to be sworn, please?
I do.
I need you to state your first initial and your last name. Spell your last name for the court.
A. Smith.
Would you spell is common spelling for Smith?
SIMTH.
Thank you, and good morning, Ms. Smith. It's still morning.
Oh, that's old girl. I'm just catching on to who the witness is. This is the girl that was dating Moontoon and Shell Kale at the same time. I did a trivia Smith. I didn't even put it together to just now when I looked at her face. I'm like, now she look familiar.
Good morning.
All right. Ms. Smith, would you tell the jury where it is that you're from?
Atlanta, Georgia. Born and raised.
Born and raised in Atlanta?
Yep.
All right. And on January the 28th of 2015, did you live in Atlanta?
Yes.
All right. What was your address?
I don't remember the address. Off Cleveland Avenue.
Do you recall during that time living on Springdale Road at 2905 Springdale Road?
Yes.
All right. Now, were you living there with anyone or were you living by yourself?
By myself.
And is that an apartment, a house? condo?
Townhome. A townhome.
All right. And you said that it was off Cleveland Avenue?
That's what I said.
Okay. Ms. Smith, were you living at that time in apartment P3?
I don't remember the address.
Okay. Do you recall having a neighbor by the name of Gilberti Mack?
I do.
And do you recall whether you asked Mr. Mack to put cameras on his house?
Can't tell nobody put a camera in their house. That's their house.
It is. Do you recall whether you ever requested that of him?
I
Okay.
didn't.
All right. Now, back on January the 28th of 2015, how long after that date did you live in those townhomes?
Left.
Did you leave on that particular day or the next day or shortly afterwards?
I wasn't there before that.
Okay. Now, when you say you weren't there before that, what do you mean?
I just wasn't home.
Oh, you mean you were home on January 28th?
If that's the date, I wasn't there.
Okay. When did you move out of those apartments?
I don't remember the exact date. The day they said I had to leave.
Did anything precede your having to leave?
A shootout.
All right. Now, when you say a shootout, what do you mean? You weren't there, so what do you mean? And the jury hasn't heard this, so please tell them what you mean when you say a shootout.
I mean, I had to go there. I got a call from the rent office saying that my house got shot up.
And was that at night? Do you recall?
I think so.
All right. And so when you go on scene to see what's going on, what do you see?
Bullet holes.
Where do you see the bullet holes?
I don't remember exactly what a bullet holes was.
As far as not specifically remembering them, what I'm asking is, are they inside your home?
Correct.
All right. Do you recall whether the window or the door was hit or something different?
No.
All right. Now, when you got there, were there police inside your home?
No.
Did the police go inside your home with you?
With me, no.
Did they go inside your home?
I'm sure they did.
All right. Now, when you say a shootout happened and after that you left, do you know how long it was after that that you left?
No.
All right. At the time that you lived, and I don't want to get too much into your personal business, but at the time that you lived at that apartment complex off Springdale Road, did you know a person by the name of Kelvin Watts?
Of course.
Okay. And what did you call him?
Shell.
Shell, did you also call him Lil Kel?
No.
Okay. Did you ever call him by the short
No.
name Kel?
I just told you, Shell.
I understand. So at the time, around January 28th of 2015, or before, had Shell been hiding out in your house?
Sustained.
Had Shell been staying at your house at all?
We was dating
Okay. How long had you all been dating?
a few months.
Now, when you were dating, did Shell stay at your house sometimes?
He visit. He didn't stay.
Did he ever hide out at your house?
He visit. I just answered your question.
I understand. Did you ever tell police on January 28, 2015, that Shell had been hiding?
Objection, Your Honor.
I just
That
answered your
calls for
question.
speculation.
Overruled.
And Ms. Smith, I'm not going to keep you up here very long, but I'm going to ask you a specific question because the jury, Your Honor, if I may just be allowed.
Overruled.
I'm going to ask you questions so that the jury who doesn't know the answers, so that you can answer for them, okay? Did you tell the police that night that your friend Kelvin had been hiding out at your place?
I did not.
Okay. Do you remember talking to police that night?
No.
Do you recall the name, or do you recall an Officer Collins being the officer that responded to your scene?
I do not.
Do you recall what the officers looked like?
I do not.
Okay. Do you recall talking to anyone about your friend Kel in the presence of officers?
No.
Do you recall telling them anything about anyone that might have wanted harm to Kelvin?
No.
Okay. How long do you recall, if you recall at all, the police being on scene?
I don't know.
All right.
I wasn't there.
Were you there when you got called and you came out?
When I got there, nobody was there.
So you don't,
Next day, I went down the next day. They said I had to come the next day. You said when I got home, they wasn't there when I got home.
so the night that the rent office called you, it's your testimony?
The
that-
rent office just, I know the person. She called me and told me. The next door neighbor called and told me my house got shot up.
And what was the name of the next door neighbor?
Just called his name. G. Gregory, whatever his name is.
Gilberty Mack?
I know him as Gio.
Okay. So when Gio called you, it was that night that your house had just gotten shot up?
A few people called me. It wasn't a secret.
All right. And did you arrive on scene that night? Did you get back to your house that night?
I came, nobody was there.
Do you know about how long after you called, or you recall that you came back to your house?
No, I do not.
Did you know any members, and I know this sounds like it's obvious, but do you know any members of your friend Kelvin's family. Did you know Donovan Thomas?
I did.
Were you close with him?
Yes.
And were you able to observe Kelvin's interaction with him?
I wasn't.
Okay. Do you have any knowledge of whether Kelvin was
Nope.
close to him?
Nope. I do not.
At the time, did you know an Antonio Sledge?
Of course I did.
Why do you say, of course you did?
Because I dated him.
All right. Were you dating him at the same time you were dating?
I wasn't.
Kelvin? How long before your house got shot up did you stop dating Antonio Sledge?
A couple of months. The same time I just told you when I started dating Kevin.
Okay. And what did you call Antonio Sledge?
Monktoon.
Monktoon?
Yeah.
All right. How long had you known Monktoon by that time?
Been on Monktoon since I was like 15, 16 years old.
Okay. How long had you known Kel or Shell Kel at that time?
Not that long.
Okay. Now, at what point do you now recall speaking to the police at all about shooting at your house?
I don't.
Do you recall ever communicating with the police in any way?
I just told you. I went down the next day. You just asked me that.
Okay. Who did you talk to when you went down?
I don't know.
Where did you go down to?
The headquarters.
Do you recall an investigator, Dennis?
I just told you. I don't remember nobody's name.
Okay. Do you recall providing a video to the police?
I don't.
Do you recall a video wherein Antonio Sledge was talking to the camera?
It's all on social media. Y'all play it. So of course I seen it.
All right. Could you speak into the...
It's on social media. Of course I seen it.
Now, when you say it's on social media, of course you've seen it. What are you talking about that
The
you've
video
seen?
that you're talking about. The trial is on social media.
Okay.
So yes,
So-
I seen the video.
What, and describe the video that, since we've shown a lot of them, that you're talking about.
The video of Mootsoon calling Shell Kell out.
All right. Did you know at that time Lil D?
Of course I did.
All right. How long had you known Lil D?
I don't know.
Now, the video of Mootsoon calling Shell Kell out, did you provide that video to the police?
I don't recall.
Do you recall emailing anything to the police?
I don't recall.
Do you recall an investigator Gaither?
I don't recall. I just told you I don't remember nobody's name.
All right. And to be fair, do you have any desire to be here today?
No.
Thank you. That's all that I have.
All right, do any defense counsel have questions for this witness?
Not on behalf of Mr. Stillwell.
Thank you. On behalf of Mr. Williams, no question.
None, none, none. All right, thank you. You're excused. Call your next witness.
She didn't even offer them that. The state just be calling in and
Right.
man.
And she's already been sworn several times, so we'll just remind her that she's still under oath.
She was not there for the foolery with love.
Your Honor, Ms. Latner was previously testifying, and so I understand that she was finished.
She was testifying in the Burns courtroom, but I believe that she was.
Okay.
outside, so we'll verify that.
Okay. So y'all are saying, don't get on you too much. Okay. Got it. Well, let me ask this. If she's not finished, do you have somebody else ready?
I know laughing and shit with each other while people lives on the line. Okay, but she was in and out. She did not have time for the bullshit today. She like, you already know that. I said that. Like, keep, keep moving. It seemed like she must be a witness to set the playing field for the police to say that she gave them stuff, I think.
Okay, well, you don't have another witness out there?
Okay, now you
Then let's just
speaking.
do another witness.
I say, don't, you done told her if it happens again, they ain't gonna be able to testify. Stand on it. Y'all hit the like button. Yeah, old Trivia gone. She stood on business. She said, hey, I don't want to be here. She ain't really say nothing that was damning, but like I said, I think she was just to open the door for the police to say, oh, well, she emailed me this and she did that. I think that's all she was. When will trial be over? It's going to be 200 to 300 days now. Yeah, it's going to be next year. It definitely ain't going to be over before the election. At earliest, maybe January, February, in my opinion.
That witness, I was mistaken, and I asked for a 5-minute break so that we can confirm the availability of the person we thought was outside and should be outside. And if not, to see how long it will be before Ms. Latner's is
Okay, so do
done.
you have anybody other than Miss Latner's up there?
The person that I was under the impression was standing right outside is not right outside. Ms. Hilton is with them, and I just texted her to come over with that person. So I'm asking the court for 5 minutes for a break just to get.
And you don't have another witness?
We had those
No.
we had those 3 people.
Don't give it
lined
no
up.
break.
Okay. So if you know that one witness is going to be testifying somewhere else, then make arrangements to have, I think that. maybe
Still
Ms.
giving
Hilton
her a
out
slap
there,
on the
so
wrist.
Let's just get that next witness out. Is
Yes.
the next witness ready? Okay, bring the
Thank
next
you.
witness in.
There ain't no breaks. This shit got to move like a dope. Open and close, open, close, open, close. Yeah, love.
Coming up to the stand if you don't mind.
He came in with his Sunday best on.
Ryan McGovern.
He about to tell it all.
RYAN MCGOVERN.
Good morning, Mr. McGovern. How are you?
I'm doing well.
What type of work do you do?
I work at Consolidated Engineering Company.
And how long have you been with Consolidated Engineering Company?
About 5 years.
Prior to being with Consolidated Engineering Company, where did you work?
I had a few different jobs. I was doing rental property management and some construction work. And prior to that, I worked in law enforcement.
Okay. And when you worked in law enforcement, what law enforcement agency did you work for?
I worked for Atlanta Police in Sandy Springs.
Okay. When did you work for Atlanta Police Department?
Roughly from about 2009 to 2015.
And when you were working for the Atlanta Police Department, did you work in a specific zone?
Yes, Zone 3 primarily.
What year did you work in Zone 3?
Pretty much my whole career, but towards the beginning, I was on a crime suppression team that would bounce around from zone to zone.
When you were in Zone 3, did you serve solely as a patrol officer?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And briefly, what were some of your job duties and responsibilities when you were working as a patrol officer in Zone 3?
Respond to 911 calls for service and do reports.
I want to take you to 2015, specifically January and September of 2015. Were you working in Zone 3 during that time?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Specifically, I want to take you to January 19th, 2015. Did you have the occasional response to 807 Pryor Street Southeast?
Yes.
And why did you respond to that location?
There was a shooting.
And what happened once you arrived at that location?
I spoke with
And are you looking at something?
my police report.
Okay. Would looking at your police report help refresh your memory as to what occurred back on January 19, 2015?
Yes, ma'am.
What I'm gonna ask of you to do is if you, if, does anyone want to see his report that he's looking at? Good. Okay. What I'm gonna ask of you to do is just look down at your report, and once your memory is refreshed, then testify from your memory, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Where did you respond to?
807 Prior Street.
Okay. And do you recall if you respond to that location with any other officer?
Officer Fagan.
Okay. And was Officer Fagan a partner of yours, or was she just he or she someone that just responded with you to the scene?
At the time, he was just somebody that had responded to this particular call.
Okay. What occurred once you arrived?
Located the victim. He stated that he had been shot.
Was that immediate upon getting to the scene?
Yes, ma'am.
And did he appear to be in distress from being shot?
Yes, he had said he had been shot.
All right,
and,
so overruled on that objection. Go ahead.
and he had been grazed in the back.
Okay. Do you recall what location he was at? Was he able to tell you where he was when he was shot?
I don't.
Okay. We'll take a look at your report, help refresh your memory as to where he was or where you interacted with him at. I'm sorry.
197 Hendricks.
And once you spoken with him, did you see that he was grazed on his back?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Once you spoke with him, what did you do?
I called for an ambulance.
Okay. And did the ambulance ever come?
Yes.
And when the ambulance came, what did you do?
Followed him to the hospital and then spoke with him there.
All right. And once speaking with him at the hospital, did you ever return to the scene? Did you ever return back to 807 prior?
I don't believe so.
Okay. Let me, as we're looking at anything, help refresh your memory as to whether or not you returned back to 807 prior.
Yes.
Permission to approach?
You may.
I'm going to show you, I'm going to mark as statement 19 triple DE. And just take a moment, tell me, look at this report and tell me if it helps refresh your memory as to whether or not you can return back to the location.
Yes, I did return to the location.
And when you returned, what did you do?
I met back with Officer Fagan,
Okay.
and I gave him some new information regarding Terrence Reese.
All right. And was Officer Fagan the primary officer for the crime, for the actual incident location?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And after reporting back to Officer Fagan, what the information that you learned from Mr. Reese, did that conclude your involvement as it related to this case?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I want to transition you to September 13th, 2015. Were you still working with Zone 3 in September of 2015?
Yes.
Okay. And in September 2015, did you have the occasion to respond to 3?
Yes.
And why did you respond to that location?
There was a shots fired call.
And when you respond to that location, what, if anything, did you do?
I met with the caller. It was there'd been a green store that was struck in multiple places.
Okay. And had you ever been to that store previously?
Yes, we visited there frequently.
Okay. And were you familiar with the store itself?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to show you what's been previously marked as Exhibit 1 triple DE to 5 triple DE. Tell me if you recognize what's in 1 triple DE to 5 triple DE.
Yes, I remember responding to this location.
And is that a fair and accurate depiction of the green store that you responded to back in September of 2015?
Yes, ma'am.
You're on this time, the state would like to tender Stacy Exhibit 1 triple DE to 5 triple DE into evidence.
All right, those are admitted.
Permission to publish.
You may.
Now, Windsor and Glen Street, what's depicted in 1 triple DE, is that a location within Zone 3?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Looking at 2 triple DE, what is depicted in 2 triple DE?
That's the green store that was shot up.
Okay. And it's 3 triple DE, 4 triple DE, and 5 triple DE, just different angles of the green store.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And once you arrived on scene, did you see any of the defects that were inside of the green store or outside the green store, excuse me?
Yeah, there were bullet holes.
All right. Was there any other damage to anything else at the store?
Yeah, I think looking at my report, a vehicle was struck as well.
And what type of vehicle was struck?
A silver Chevy Malibu.
And once you observe both the building, the defects of the building and the car, what, if anything, did you do while on scene?
We roped off a crime scene and notified supervisors, and evidence was collected. Shell casings.
Without telling what anyone said, did you speak with any witnesses while you were on scene?
Yes, a Miss Arnold.
And was she able to provide you some information about a potential victim in this case?
Yes.
And did she give you a name of the potential victim?
Objection, Your Honor, calls for hearsay.
Sustained.
Were you able to watch video surveillance of what occurred?
Yes, there was some video footage.
And were you shown the video surveillance footage?
Yes.
And did you put in your report what you saw in that video surveillance footage?
Yes, I did.
What was on the video surveillance footage that you saw?
It appeared to be a drive-by shooting with Shannon as the intended target. Suspect vehicle appeared to be a reddish maroon 4-door sedan with tinted windows outlined with chrome or silver. Vehicle passed by once and then circled again and let off some shots. The video footage shows that Shannon,
Well, without saying any names.
It's fine. It's fine, Your Honor.
Okay, okay. Continue.
shows that Shannon fled the scene and did not appear to have been shot, although it's possible could have been hit with debris of the broken windows.
And at any point, did you try to determine if anyone had gone to the hospital, if there were any victims that went to the hospital?
Grady Hospital was notified of the incident, but there was no shooting victims that came around at about that time.
Did you ever call out any crime scene techs to come and collect the evidence from that scene?
Yes.
And who was the crime scene tech that you had come out to the scene to collect evidence?
Unit Pebbles and Unit Moore, 7324 and 7340.
And after calling out crime scene, would that have concluded your involvement in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Court's indulgence. Oh. What was the case number assigned to, I'll first ask you about the case that we're on, the September 13th, 2015 case. What is that case number? And I'm sorry, the incident number.
15256-2008-00.
Oh, thank you. And then for the incident from January 19th, 2015, what is that incident date?
150192400.
All right. Court's indulgence.
All right, thank you. Any defense questions? All right.
Good morning, Officer McGovern.
Good morning.
My name is Max Shard. I represent Shannon Stiller. Sounds like you responded to the Green Store on September 13th, 2015, correct?
Correct.
And the Green Store is located on Glen Street, a couple hundred yards from McDaniel Street, correct?
Correct.
Now, you spoke to some witnesses about these shots fired, and you learned that it was a car that drove by, and someone had shot at a Shannon, correct?
Correct.
All right. Shannon did not, from your understanding, Shannon did not do anything except get shot at, correct?
I don't recall. Sorry.
Well, does your report indicate that Shannon had done anything other than get shot at?
Nope.
So, did you look for witnesses?
Yeah.
And you spoke to a disarmed, correct?
Correct.
You also, and this Green Store is also known as Mommy's Neighborhood Grocery, is that correct?
Sorry, I don't remember.
Could you look at the pictures of that Green Store? Is there a sign? Is there signage that indicates the name of the store?
It says, well, it's partially busted out, but neighborhood grocery, I assume, is what it says. at
Okay.
322 Glen Street.
All right, great. And did you, after speaking to Miss Arnold, did you, or surveillance video at this Green Store?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And why did you look for surveillance video?
I assume it would just be standard procedure to gather as much evidence as possible.
Okay, surveillance video doesn't lie, does it?
No, sir.
All right. You thought it was very important as part of your investigation into this incident to obtain that surveillance video, correct?
Mhm.
Okay, and you spoke to a Maricelis Ayuso, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, do you know her as mommy?
No.
Okay, but she was the owner of the store?
Yes.
Okay, and you asked her if they had surveillance video, correct?
Yes.
She, in fact, showed you the surveillance video of this incident, correct?
Yes.
The surveillance video was working on 9/13/2015, correct?
Correct.
It was available, correct?
Yes.
Miss Ayuso was cooperative with you, correct? She didn't make you go get a search warrant or go through any legal process. She showed you the video, correct?
That's correct.
And you watched the video.
I assume so.
Well, in your report, do you describe the video?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you wouldn't have described what was on the video if you didn't watch it, would you?
Probably not.
Okay. And while you don't know anyone's name from the video, right, you don't know anyone's name from the video, you confirmed that there was a man that appeared to be getting shot at that ran away from the scene.
Mm-hmm.
And you weren't sure if that person was shot or not.
Correct.
Did it appear to you that people were shooting at him? From reviewing the video, did it appear that people were shooting at him?
Yeah, overruled.
The video footage. The video footage led me to believe at the time that Shannon was the intended target.
Okay, and the video footage, it didn't show Shannon committing any crimes.
No.
Okay. It didn't show Shannon shooting any weapons.
Mm-mm.
That's a no for the record?
Yes. No, sir.
Okay. Thank you. I don't have any further questions.
Yes, sir.
Anybody else? Vince? No. Any redirect?
You were just asked about the surveillance video. Do you know, sitting here today, how long that store had surveillance video footage?
No.
Do you know, sitting here today, how long that camera kept surveillance video footage?
No, ma'am.
Do you know if the Green store had surveillance footage back in January of 2015?
I don't think so. I'm not sure.
You're not sure?
I'm not sure.
Thank you. No further questions.
All right. Okay.
Do you have any recollection of visiting the Green store in January of 2015?
I actually do. The pictures kind of jog my memory. I just remember there being a shooting there, and I remember roping off some crime scene tape and going around asking questions to people. It was, 9 years ago, I believe.
Who was the target of that shooting? Do you have that report with you?
Which report are you referring to?
This thing 9 years ago, January 2015.
Well, I mean, they're both a long time ago, I guess. I mean,
But do you have a report from January 2015 with you?
yeah, there's one report I have from January.
Could I see it?
Sure. And there's another report from September of 2015.
Okay, this report from January 2015 is at 807 Pryor Street, correct? It says, I, Officer McGovern, was dispatched to a shooting call at 807 Pryor Street.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's not the Green Store.
No. They're both 9 years ago. I'm just saying it was a long time ago. That's all I'm saying.
I understand it's a long time ago, but you're not this. I visited a location in January 2015. As you're recalling, you're just referring to this document that the DA's office gave you, correct?
Yeah, that's my police report.
Okay, and but you visiting 807 Pryor Street, not the Green Store.
No, the Green Store was this one.
Right. And that was September 13th, 2015, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so I'm asking, just to clear this up, do you have any recollection of, you don't have any recollection of visiting the Green Store in January 2015? You're referring to Pryor Street.
No, I have a recollection of visiting the Green Store for a shooting, whatever month or date it was. I don't recall.
Okay, so you have no idea what, as a police officer, you visited the Green Store before, other than September 13th, 2015.
Well, I remember more than just visiting. I mean, we visited it quite frequently, but I remember that particular store had gotten shot up, and I remember roping off some crime scene tape and interviewing some people.
Okay, all right. I'm going back to September 13th, 2015.
Mhm.
When you sought out the surveillance and obtained the surveillance, you thought it was important enough to put that information in your report, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you did put it in your report, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. May I approach this?
You may.
Thank you.
All right, you are excused. Thank you for your time. How long your next witness can be?
About 50 minutes from now.
Okay. And is that Ms. Latner's?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Is there a shorter witness that's available right now? It's fine if there's not. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and have her then.
Yes, Your Honor. The state calls Ms. Latner to the stand.
He needs to speak up more quickly. So you've already been sworn probably several times. I'll just remind you that you are still under oath. Go ahead and have a seat.
Good morning, Ms. Latner.
Good morning.
Is this the second courtroom you've had to testify in today?
I haven't testified yet in the first one yet.
Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that, Ms. Latner. With that said, Ms. Latner, before your testimony today, did you and me meet and go over some of the physical discs for you to mark?
I did.
And
We
did
did.
we review a number of CAD reports associated with those 911 calls?
Yes.
Now, Your Honor, I'm going to approach Ms. Latner's with 124 Charlie, 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 124 Charlie, 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 Alpha, 1 Golf, Golf, Alpha, 1 Juliet, Juliet, Charlie, and 1 Juliet, Juliet, Delta. 2 Tango Tango 2 Tango Tango Alpha, 1 Oscar Oscar, 2 Papa Papa, and 2 Papa Papa Alpha, and 1 Romeo Romeo, 1 Romeo Romeo Alpha, for the record.
All right.
I hope you have the letters all memorized, Ms. Latners, like we practiced. Now, Ms. Latners, once you take a minute to review those, and if and when you recognize those, just look up at me. Thank you, Ms. Latners. Thank you, Ms. Latners. Have you had time to review those, Ms. Latners?
Yes.
And are they a fair and accurate depiction of the various CAD reports and 911 calls that you reviewed prior to testifying here today?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time, the state is going to tender into evidence 124 Charlie Charlie Charlie, and as well as Alpha.
There's a rhythm in the markets, and if you want to learn to listen for it, we'll show you how.
Can Stonyfield organic yogurt with high-quality ingredients and no harmful pesticides save the world? Maybe not, but it could save you from saying, we have food at home. Again. Stonyfield Organic, good on purpose.
And 1 Golf Alpha.
All right, there's your minute.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now, Ms. Latners, I'm going to,
That, yes, that's certain. Absolutely.
thank you, Your Honor.
Right.
And publishing State's Exhibit 124 Triple Charlie. Now, Ms. Latners, what is the date of 124 Triple Charlie?
January 28th, 2015.
What is the call type that this call came in as?
Shot fired.
And what was the location?
2905 Springdale Road, Southwest, apartment Peepaw 2.
What zone and beat in the city of Atlanta was this call?
In zone 3, 3 is 11 beat.
And for the record, what is the APD incident number associated with this call?
150280046.
Was this officer generated or 911 call?
911 call.
What time was this call placed?
12:14 a.m. hours.
What time was the call received?
12:16 a.m. hours.
When did officers first arrive?
12:48 a.m. hours.
And what time was this call cleared?
06:10 a.m. hours.
So officers responded around midnight and left around 6. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Who was the primary officer who responded to this call?
Christopher Collins.
Now, Ms. Latner's turning to the bottom of page 2 on the CAD narrative at 12:16:14. Can you tell the jury or explain what that indicates?
It has what the caller told the operator, call advised someone just shot up her home. Call advised rapid fire is going on.
And what is the third stanza of 12:16:14 as depicted in the CAD narrative?
Repeat that.
Right beneath what you just read, Ms. Latners, what is the last call out after what you just read?
Bullets coming through her home.
And after bullets coming through home, what does it read?
Caller possible has a recording of the continuing bullets.
Now, Ms. Latners, I'm going to publish for you, and you have before you 124 Triple Charlie Alpha. Is this also January 28th, 2015?
Yes.
What's the call type for this CAD?
Shot fired.
Is the address different or the same from what we just discussed?
Same address for different apartments. Number.
On what time did this call come in?
12:17 a.m. hours.
Is that close or far in time from the CAD report we just discussed?
It's close.
What time was this call cleared and reflected in the CAD?
It was cleared at 12:19 a.m. hours.
If you turn to the CAD narrative, this second line from the bottom at 12:19:13 a.m., what does that indicate?
It advised that the call advised the 911 operator heard about 5 shots in the area, no further.
And Ms. Latners, what was the disposition on this CAD report?
The operator stored the incident because she found an incident before that, so she just related the calls to that incident.
Is that a possible explanation for why this CAD reflects such a short cleared call time?
Yeah. Yes.
Now, Ms. Latners, I'm going to publish 1 Golf Alpha. What is the date for 1 Golf Alpha?
January 26, 2015.
Is that 2 days before the call we just discussed?
Yes.
What is the call type that this came in as?
Person shot.
What is the location of this call?
1007 Hill Street Southeast, apartment A Adam.
What zone and beat is this CAD report?
Zone 3, beat 304 is beat.
Was this citizen or officer generated?
A 911 call.
And who was the 911 caller?
It says resident Freddie Reed.
What time was this 911 call placed by Ms. Reed?
It shows 21:33 p.m. hour, which is 9:33 p.m. hours.
What time was the call received by APD dispatch?
9:33 p.m. hours, 51 seconds.
When did officers first respond to 1007 Hill Street?
9:35 p.m. hours.
And what time was this call cleared?
4:04 a.m. hours.
Who was the primary officer that responded to this call?
Alicia Lucas,
Allison Leduc, is that
Allison Ledoux, right?
Leduc?
Yes.
What are on the left under that, Ms. Ladner's? All of those section units, what do those indicate?
You indicate the different units that went out of the location.
Now, Ms. Latner's, if you can turn to the CAD narrative on page 3, what is the first remark at 9:33:51?
Female advised they shot up her house and she was shot in the leg.
And Ms. Latner's, if you can flip back one page to the CAD narrative, page 2, or excuse me, the CAD report, page 2, do you see the time or the call out? It says LC 10:20:43 p.m. It's almost right in the middle of that page to help orient you.
10:20 what?
10:20:43 p.m.
Okay.
What does the LC indicate?
Location change.
And what at 10:20:43 p.m., where was that location changed to?
Greater Hospital.
And Ms. Latner's, turning back to page 1, what was the disposition for this case or this CAD?
17.
Is that indicate a report?
A report was made.
Now, Ms. Latner's, I'm going to publish for you what's already been admitted as 1 Juliet Charlie. What is the date for this CAD report?
May 7, 2015.
What is the call type that this came in as?
Suspicious person.
What's the APD case number for this CAD report?
15-127-0278.
And what was the date?
May 7, 2015.
On this call, what location did officers respond to?
151 Cleveland Avenue Southwest.
And with this CAD report, was it a 911 call or officer generated?
911 call.
What time was that call received?
It received at 2:05 a.m. hours.
What time were officers dispatched?
2:08 a.m. hours.
And how quickly did they arrive? What time did they arrive?
0:10 a.m. hours.
And what officer was the primary unit that arrived on the scene?
It shows 1312 Baker.
What time was this CAD report cleared?
07:09 a.m. hours.
And Ms. Latner's, if you turn to page 2 of this CAD narrative, at 2:08:03, can you explain for the jury what that indicates?
The caller advised the operator, 911 operator, he's at the BP station, black male, approximately 16 to 17 years old, white shirt, red shorts, with a machine gun, driving a black Chevy tag, gave out the tag number. Gun is still inside vehicle.
And does that tag, Ms. Latner's, end in 880?
Yes.
Now, Ms. Latner's, is one of those discs before you that we admitted 1 Juliet Delta?
Yes.
Is that the 911 call that corresponds with the CAD report we just discussed?
Yes.
Your Honor, the state's is publishing 1 Juliet Delta.
All right.
Atlanta 911, operator 6587. What is the address of your emergency?
Hey, I'm up here, Chef at the BP gas station. The address is 151 Cleveland Avenue. Got a black four-door Chevrolet. I was walking out the store.
Okay,
This guy got out like with a
Sir, is that Cleveland Avenue southwest or northwest? I mean, southeast or
Southwest.
southwest? Okay.
Southwest.
Okay. 151 Cleveland Avenue southwest, and you said it's a BP gas station?
Yeah,
Okay, do you need police, fire, or ambulance?
police.
Okay, what's going on now?
There's a young guy with a white t-shirt on, red short. Just got cut like with a machine gun for no reason. I'm walking out the store. He on a black four-door Chevrolet. Tag number is Peephole S-Ray Lincoln 8880. I don't know what he's trying to do, but he walked to the store, then he put the gun back inside the car, like the female that's driving, but he got the gun laying on the back seat.
Okay.
So I felt like I was about to get shot down coming out the store. He hit the counter now.
Okay, and you said he was driving a Chevrolet?
Yes, ma'am.
What color?
Black.
All right, and is it a truck or a car?
It's a car, and it looked like he was more about 16, 17 years old. Big old gun. Came to the store talking to somebody. We can get somebody out here on ASAP. You know, they can catch him before he pull off.
Okay.
But that's a big old gun. I want my car to be anonymous because I don't know him and he don't know me.
All right.
I mean, but that's a big old gun he got.
And is he still inside of the store?
Yes, ma'am. As we speak, he's still inside the store.
Okay. All right, and the machine gun is still inside of the car?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and what does the female look like?
I didn't get a look big on her. I just saw wild hair on her head. It looked like a female from behind.
And is he-
Like the one that got
Is she black or is she black, white, Hispanic?
both of them black.
Okay.
But he like he was about to walk in the store with it. He goes sticking it down in his shorts and stuff. Then he saw me when I turned around. He jumped in the back seat and put his legs down on the back seat.
Okay.
You know.
All right, hold on 1 second, sir. And you said he had on a white shirt and red pants, right? Red
Yes,
shorts?
ma'am. White shirt, red shorts.
All right, okay. And he's still inside the store at this time as well?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right. And you said when he saw you, he put the gun in the backseat of the car, but at first he was sticking it in his pants, like he was taking it inside the car.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And me and another guy had said, man, what the, excuse my language, but both of us had said, man, what the hell he got himself to do?
Okay. All right. And he's still in the store now, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And the car's still sitting out there.
All right. What is the female doing? Is she just sitting in the car?
She just sitting on the wheel, yeah. I don't know whether a machine gun or a chopper, but whatever, they have a big old banana clip on it.
And you said he looked about 16 or 17 years old? Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Stopping at 412. Ms. Ladders, did we also, or do you also have before you a 2 Tango Tango CAD report?
Yes.
With 2 Tango Tango, the state's publishing 2 Tango Tango for the jury. What is the date for that CAD report?
May 10th, 2019.
And what did that CAD report come in as in terms of the call type or description?
Person shot.
What is the APD incident number associated with this case?
19130 2224.
And what was the location for this May 10, 2019 CAD?
1600 Prior Road, Southwest Atlanta.
What zone and beat is that location?
Zone 3, 305's beat.
And was this a 911 call or officer generated?
911 call.
What time was the call placed?
9:35 p.m. hours.
How quickly were officers able to get dispatched to that location?
Maybe a minute.
And when did they ultimately arrive?
9:40 p.m. hours.
What type of response time was this person shot call?
10 minutes.
What time was this call cleared?
12:29 a.m. hours.
Now, at the top, Ms. Latner, what is the disposition and code number for this incident?
You have code 10, which they impound the vehicle. 17 and 23, they did a report and they arrested someone.
Is 23 the arrest?
Yes.
Now, Ms. Latner, if you look at the bottom of page 1 in the column, is that, as you had discussed, all of the different units that responded to this call?
Yes.
You turn to page 2, Ms. Latner. At the bottom, at timestamp 10:03:38 p.m., what is indicated at that time?
Advised 3304 location change en route to Grady.
And if you turn to page 3, Ms. Latner, towards the top at 10:19:09 p.m., what is indicated at that time?
Advised 3304 at Grady Memorial Hospital in trauma room number 4.
And at the bottom, Ms. Latner, of page 3 at 12:29:26 a.m., what does that indicate?
Advised 3306 cleared the call on the 50. Its pull-in was code 10-17-23.
Which is the impound arrest and report.
Yes.
Now, Ms. Latner, turning to page 4 of the CAD narrative, what is the note at 9:36:21 p.m.?
Male possible shot, subject got into a green sedan, green Audi sedan.
And immediately below that, what is indicated?
Black male, gray Kia, doors open, gray Kia sedan, license plate, Charlie John Baker 1950.
And a few minutes later, Ms. Latner, at 9:38 p.m., what, can you explain for the jury what occurs at that time frame?
Now, the 7300 unit advised a person on fleet on foot towards the apartment complex.
What do you see no further 78 Sierra?
No further 78 on the subject.
And what does that mean in CAD parlance?
They have no more description of the person.
Now, 1 minute later, Ms. Latner, at 9:39, what is the CAD call out at that time frame?
Advised left vehicle on Park near three-way grocery store.
And about 4 minutes later, a couple lines down, Ms. Latner, at 9:43 p.m., what occurs at that time?
Vehicle is shot up.
And do you see the unit number 7171 also at 9:43?
Yes.
What does that unit advise at that time?
3303 advised shot in the neck. Someone shot in the neck, alerts conscious and breathing.
And 3 minutes later at 9:46 p.m., what occurs at that time?
3303 advised suspect is a vehicle possible towards Amer Drive.
And Ms. Latner's 4 minutes later at 9:50 p.m., can you explain what occurs at that time frame?
3309, which is overtime unit, advised Pride and Thornton shut down. They're trying to shut down an intersection.
And when it says MARTA notified, is that MARTA police or something else?
That's the MARTA bus line. When we shut down a location, we advise the MARTA bus station that we're shutting down the locations.
Now, Ms. Ladners, about 9 minutes later at 10:01 PM, unit number 6181, what occurs at that time?
They request K9 units out to the location to do a search with the dogs.
Does, at 10:08, what does it indicate when it says GAT on scene?
That's a specialized unit that's doing a search with the dogs and it's more like an undercover units.
Understood. And about 6 minutes later, Ms. Ladners, at 10:14 from unit number 6181, what occurs at 10:14?
One of the unit 6181 advised at least 3 people fled from Grayford Fusion and at 10:14 hours.
And 6 minutes later, Ms. Ladners, at 10:20 PM, what occurs at that time frame?
Unit 3304 advised victim has 2 gunshot wounds to the left shoulder.
And 4 minutes later, where it starts with the word tracked, what does that indicate?
1892, which is a red dot unit. He advised they tracked someone running at the fence line in the back of the apartment.
And 1 minute later, what is the updated CAD report indicate at that time?
He advised that Gibbon Road subject possible jump the fence.
Now, Ms. Ladners, also before you, do you have 2 Tango Tango Alpha, which is a CD?
Yes.
Is that the 911 call that corresponds with the CAD report we just discussed?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time, the state is publishing 2 Tango Tango Alpha for the jury.
Can we close out the share or the Zoom, pros?
Yes, but I'm not sure what you're asking.
One brief moment, Your Honor.
Okay.
The computer just froze, Your Honor. So we had it back up and running.
Okay.
Operator 7300.
Yes, there's some boys that just ran out of the car and they just shot fires. They just shot someone.
What's the location?
Got out of the car and ran.
Okay, they shot someone or they were shooting?
Already shooting someone.
Okay, what's the location?
There also, I'm right here by the freeway grocery store, and they're running back right now to the car.
Okay, give me 1 second. I'm trying to get your location. What 2 cross streets are you at?
I'm at Pryor Road in Clare, and just as we turn on Clare, right by the
Pryor Road in Clare?
Yeah. They're running right now.
Okay, was someone shot or are they just shooting?
They just and it looked like they shot at some boy. I don't know. I just ran past it. I'm by the car right now.
What's the color, make, and model of the vehicle?
It's an Audi, but I'm like away from it because
What color is it?
Like a gray or blue.
They got into a gray Audi sedan.
Yep, 4-door. It's like the light color.
Do you have a license plate number?
I can drive back around.
How many boys are there?
It was like 3. I don't know if anybody's in the car. Like the door is open. Are you
Black male, black, white, Hispanic, or Asian?
Probably black. Yeah. Oh, that's a Kia. It's C. Hold on. It's like a 3-way. I'm still here. Give me 1 second. It's CJBL 1950. CJB 1950. Okay, that's Charlie John Bravo 1950. And it's a gray Kia sedan? Yeah. And you said the males left. What direction did they run in? Oh shit! They went. I guess what is this? North, south? On Pryor. Okay, they went on Fort South, right? Okay, they went on Pryor towards what? Like, give me somewhere where they went towards a place or a street. To the right. There's apartments over here. There's just a fence. There's a three-way grocery store right here. And give me 1 second. I'm still here. Bear with me 1 second. They ran toward these apartments. There's a shoe. Little boy's shoes. They only took off the shoes right there. Okay, give me a description of some of the males. You said they're black males. What are they wearing? They hoodie and regular clothes. I was far away. I couldn't identify them. Okay. But we're by the park place. They left the vehicle near. They left the vehicle near the grocery store. Yep, right here on Pryor Street, like went Fort South to the right. And what was that grocery store name? Three-way grocery store. Did you want to meet with police when they get there? Excuse me? Did you want to meet with police when they get there? No, I'm gone. Okay. I didn't see anybody. Thank you so much. I didn't go by the car remotely. Okay, thank you so much for calling. If anything changes or you see anything more, can you?
Your Honor, publishing one Oscar already admitted.
All right.
Ms. Latners, do you have before you a CAD report marked one Oscar?
Yes.
What is the date for that CAD report?
April the 26th, 2019.
What was the location that officers responded?
741 Morosco Drive, Northeast Atlanta.
Now, was this a 911 or officer generated call?
Officer generated call.
What was the zone and beat for that 751 Morosco Drive?
Zone 2, 211 speed.
What time did the officer generate this call?
12:39 a.m. hours.
And is the dispatch time the same time as when it was received?
Yes.
What time was this call cleared?
05:06 a.m. hours.
Who was the primary, or who was the officer for this CAD report?
Unit 1211, Ralph Shark.
Is this a 10-minute response call?
Yes.
And what was the call type and description for this?
On page 3, he advised he was flagged down for this call.
And Ms. Latners, what was the disposition ultimately for this CAD report?
17, report made.
And did additional officers ever arrive with Officer Suck?
Yes.
Roughly how many?
I see 5.
And Ms. Latners, if you turn to the CAD narrative on page 3, do you see the time at 12:39:33?
Yes.
Can you explain for the jury what happens after you had just mentioned he was flagged down?
Unit was flagged down, 12 named assistant supervisor. He copied the call. Officer advised his dispatch at the time possible person was shot in the parking lot, in the parking garage.
And was it does it give any description of what level of that parking garage they are at?
the bottom level of the parking garage.
And Ms. Latner's at 12:45 a.m., what do those code changes indicate?
Well, the unit investigated the call, found out the person was not shot, the person was robbed.
And what is 44 Papa?
44 is a person robbed.
And at 12:45, when it says victim not signal 50,
He's not shot.
and at 12:52 a.m., what is indicated at that time?
Perk left in a black Ford Mustang.
Ms. Latner, do you also have before you 2 Papa? What type of, or let me ask you this, what is the date for this CAD report and publishing 2 Papa at this time?
October the 1st, 2020.
What is the incident number for this case?
202752065.
What did this call come in as?
The call came in as a 44B, which a vehicle being carjacked.
What did the call end as?
As a 39 information for the officer.
Can you explain for the jury what that means? Or
Where call came in as a 44B. The operator only can go by what the caller tells the operator. Once the officer get out there and investigate the call, he has the choice to change the sentence. So he changed the sentence to a 39 information for officer.
now, Ms. Latner, what zone and beat was this call in?
Zone 3, 303's beat.
And what was the address?
250 Fulton Street, Southwest Atlanta.
Was this a 911 call or officer generated?
911 call.
And what was the caller's name?
Gary.
Does it only have a first name listed?
On the first name with AT&T Mobile, that's it.
Do some other providers give first and last names?
It depends on the caller, yes.
Now, Ms. Latner, what time did Gary make this 911 call?
10:50 p.m. hours.
And what time were officers dispatched to respond to this 911 call?
10:52 p.m. hours.
What time did officers arrive to this call?
10:59 p.m. hours.
Who was the officer that arrived?
What is this, Rico? I don't know how his last name, Ravilus.
That's fair, Ms. Latner. And what is his unit number?
Unit 1303.
Now, if you look a little bit below at the unit time 11:14:12, what does that indicate?
44V vehicle contract.
And then
One reason to try Zaxby's new chicken finger tacos? We'll give you 2. Chipotle Ranch.
All right, y'all. I'm about to get ready to get up off of here. I'm trying to finish my test, and I'm like not even listening anymore, y'all. So we're gonna end it for now. I'm gonna drop a video or 2 if it gets to something more juicier. And with that being said, I'll see y'all in the morning. I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. Appreciate y'all for rocking out for the past almost 4 hours. We've been at this thing 4 hours. Long morning. Y'all have a good day.